For the morning of March 30th, 2023. Do, 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 do. Well, I just toggled timestamps. I'm doing great at clicking on things this morning. I was like, the computer.
Time stamps.
Yeah. Okay. Where is literally everything we need to pull up? Okay.
Everybody's wondering what and where they all came from. Everybody's worrying about where they're gonna go when the whole thing's done. But no one knows for certain, and so it's all the same to me. Think I'll just let the mystery be. Some say once you're gone forever, and some say you're gonna come back. Some say you rest in the arms of the Savior if in sinful ways you lack. Some say they're coming back in a garden, bunch of carrots and little sweet peas. Think I'll just let the mystery be. Everybody's wondering what and where they all came from. Everybody's worrying about where they're gonna go when the whole thing's done. No one knows for certain, so it's all the same to me. Think I'll just let the mystery be. Some say they're going to a place called glory, and I ain't saying it ain't a fact. Well, I've heard I'm on the road to purgatory, and I don't like the sound of that. I believe in love, and I live my life accordingly. But I choose to let the mystery be. Everybody's wondering what and where they all came from. Everybody's worrying about where they're gonna go when the whole thing's done. Well, no one knows for certain, and so it's all the same to me. Think I'll just let the mystery be. Think I'll just let the mystery be.
Thank you. That was Quinn Hills live in studio here in Nashville, Tennessee with Let the Mystery Be. You may recognize Let the Mystery Be as the theme song of The Leftovers on HBO, the home box office network. One of the best long-form explorations of the concept of grief, in my opinion. Quinn, do you have any opinions on the show The Leftovers?
I like it, and I'm also a big fan of leftovers in general.
A great way to eat potatoes a day later.
A later potato, as I always say.
Yes, see you later, potato. People are saying that's NPR. That was my best Casey Kasem, which is really disappointing that my best Casey Kasem came
Yeah,
across.
you did not sound like Shaggy at all.
Well, I wasn't like going zoinks, but like.
Yeah, it needs
Maybe energy. Maybe it's the lack of energy.
Yeah, I think that might be it.
That was it.
I think that might be it.
Okay.
Needs more schmarm.
Schmarm.
Yeah, schmarminess.
I don't know that I ever thought of Casey Kasem as particularly schmarmy.
There's a bit.
There's a bit in there? Okay. I'll take your word for it.
I mean, it's not like full tilt, like, dibbida bibbida gay. Come on, welcome back to 101.7 Free, the free.
Freeze? I like that you're just looking around at temperatures and you're like, yeah, this is the nearest temperature. Okay. Yeah. Thank you for coming in today.
Of course.
Yeah. I am glad you're here. I hope everybody's glad that Quinn is here. You can commission music from Quinn at redactedhills.com, as well as check out Quinn at twitch.tv/redactedhills.
Correct.
So I'm going to get those. You know what I should do? Is I should post commission music there, right? And then I do a new line and I say, follow on Twitch.
Ooh.
All right, if I pin this, then I don't get, I won't be like hitting myself like later
yeah.
going like, what? Why didn't I post the link to twitch.tv/redactedhills?
The old pin post.
Yeah. I'm not sure if this is going to work on both services, but okay. There we go. Commission.
Yeah, and people in the Discord chat can just write that down and pin it to their wall.
Well, no, the Discord. Dang it! redactedhills.com/follow. Womp womp.
Yeah, that's a broken link.
Yeah, that's
there.
a broken link. We're gonna undo that.
Hurry up.
Nope.
Hey, should I hurry up and make that a valid link?
Yeah, I mean, I was gonna say long term, that's probably something that you're gonna want to just forward that Quinn Hill redactedhills.com/follow. Just have it forward to your Twitch.
Redactedhills.com/any word. I just need to have it redirect.
Well, that gets misleading because then you want a 404 incorrect links. Otherwise, like browser or not browser, Spider like Google will just start browsing every word of and it won't know that they're not live site pages. Crawler, that's the word. Woo.
Spiders or crawlers?
They are. But I was also gonna say tips are being split half and half today via PayPal.me/Joe Hills and YouTube Super Chat. They're gonna rotate the camera 1 degree.
Yeah. And we've got a full rotation goal today.
What's our full rotation goal today, Quinn?
If we get to 360 USD.
Also 360 degrees angular.
Yeah. We will perform the song Tub Thumping by Chumbawamba.
By Chumbawamba, you say? Wow.
Yes.
That would be an experience to hear that.
It certainly would be.
I hope that folks agree with me on that. Because we spent a lot of time brainstorming, like, what songs do people actually want to hear? Well, no one ever stopped listening to Tub Thumping by Chumbawamba.
No, I certainly haven't.
Oh. Internet Feet says, oh, I love a good tub thumping. There we go.
Well,
see?
And it's actually, it's kind of two songs in once, because you'll get to hear us sing Danny Boy, a little bit of Danny Boy.
A little bit of Danny Boy.
And, of course, a lot of tub thumping.
Yeah. And the rest of the actual song. Yeah, okay. You know what? People in the Discord chat are complaining that the links aren't working when they're writing them down by hand and then tapping them. So I'm going to pin the message in the Discord as well. So, there, you're welcome, Discord. Yeah, there we go. Quinn Day!
It's Quinn Day in the studio.
Quinn Day. Welcome, Artemis System. We're here on the HermitCraft server. Currently setting up stream. I noticed I had a bunch of snow in my inventory, and I thought, where could I dump a bunch of snow that no one's going to yell at me?
The one place.
That's the primary concern I have in most situations is how do I avoid getting yelled at? Yeah, it's
I
fun.
think, yeah, that's a defense tactic I believe we learned in our childhood.
Well, I don't know. I mean, I did fine in the military though. That part was fine. I'm like, oh, okay, somebody's yelling at me.
Well, you signed up for that part.
Oh man, they never yelled at me when I worked at the ad agency, but like other people got yelled at sometimes.
Yeah, and you'd watch Mad Men, and you're
Well,
like, "What am I doing wrong?
no,
They're
no,
not
no.
yelling at me."
Well, but the thing is though, I was gonna go full Marine Corps like. This website developer believed that it was a proper strategy to approach this problem from this angle. Just like my goal was just to scream and spit everywhere.
To scream back.
Yeah, but they never. Yeah, because
I
like
don't think most people in ad agencies are
No.
of that.
no. But the thing is though, like
I don't know if they're on that wavelength.
But I was just like, well, I felt like I needed to have a funny response prepared if they started yelling at me, because otherwise I would just like push everything off their desk and walk out and never come back. It's just like, okay, I'm done
Have
here.
you ever done that before?
No, because they never yelled at me.
No.
No, but like it's one of those things. Like when I got out of ROTC, I was just like, well, I'm done with getting yelled at.
Now I'm gonna be the one yelling.
So that's the thing is, I'm like, if they yell at me, like, I have to do something, and it has to be as funny and as public as possible. And
I don't know if that would have gone over well.
no, I mean,
Because if they're yelling
No,
at you, they're probably not in a very
no,
humorous
no,
mood.
at the point where they're yelling at me, I'm basically
Oh, you're quitting. I see. Okay.
Yeah, no, so it's just like
I thought you were saying.
so I was like, I need something that's funny enough that I stick around to see what happens instead of just quitting. And I feel like yelling back, and because I could be twice, 3, 4 times as loud as these guys.
Oh, easily.
So just me screaming back so half the office comes running down the hall. Yeah, that's worth sticking around for.
That would do it.
Yeah, hey, Drew Baca, first tip of the stream says, oh, Danny boy?
Danny boy?
Thank you, Drew Baca.
The pipes.
That's gonna get us rotated to 20 degrees.
20 degrees.
Corky says one of my NCOs got out of the military and immediately got in trouble at his next job for that. Oh, for screaming back? Well, because that's the thing, though, is the thing is if they're like, if they start screaming, you shouldn't be screaming. Screaming in response to being screamed at is the proper response to screaming. Sir, the federal government invested tens of thousands of dollars in ensuring that I can yell back when yelled at, sir.
Yeah.
I mean, because like I said, at that point, at the point where they're yelling at me, I don't want to work there.
Mm-hmm.
But I need to at least, it was one of those things where I need to make the effort to, like, a lot of the time while I was working there, it's like, I really just need to hold down this job for a few months.
Yeah.
And so it was like, if I can ride this out for a little while.
Yeah, they do need to give drill instructors proper voice training, though, because they just start to sound like frogs at a certain point. They're just ruining their voices.
No, the frog voice is a voice training.
Oh, really?
No, the frog voice is a mitigation technique.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah. So the frog voice causes less actual damage. That's why they do it.
Oh.
But yeah, our friend Art was asked by his uncle, Art, Joe's joining the Marine Corps, why don't you? And he just looks at his uncle and goes, but what if they yell at me? And his uncle just dropped it, never brought it up again. He's like, okay, yeah, I see why.
Yeah, that's all. That's all they're gonna
That's
do.
all it takes. Okay. What if they yell at me?
I mean, I went to the Naval Academy summer seminar with no interest of ever going to the Naval Academy, but I wanted to see, like, I just wanted to push all the buttons and see what it would take to, like, I don't know, drive them over the edge. And the worst, so there's like a bunch of stuff you're supposed to learn and memorize, and I chose not to memorize any of it. And the worst they ever made me do was like 20 push-ups.
Yeah.
And then after a while, they're like, Hills, you're crazy. We love you.
Yeah.
So you just have to,
I get that a lot.
You just have to be insane, basically.
Yeah, I mean, well, it takes a certain type. They definitely recognize, like, if you are the right kind of bold,
Yeah, if you're like bucking authority, but you're still showing up,
Yeah.
you're like, all right, cool.
Yeah, no, it's yeah, you want somebody who's willing to speak up
Right.
in an officer role at least.
Yeah.
And in an NCO role too,
Yeah.
you know. But that's later for the enlisted
Right.
guys.
It's just kind of like those Americans you told me they're bringing over to Japan to do that.
Oh my gosh, yeah. For
The loud American.
yeah. Yeah, because you can't.
Loud American, loud American.
Oh my gosh, that would
Loud American.
that would actually be a really cool concept for a song. Is like,
Well, that was just me doing a parody of Young Americans by David Bowie.
well, no, I understand that, but I'm saying that Loud American could that almost seems like the sort of thing Ben Folds would write about. Like
That almost seems like a Green Day album. Except kind of emphasizing the idiocy of the American.
yeah, yeah. If only there was a whole album about how dumb we are. Okay.
What's that growling?
There's a Zombo and
Little Zombo. Hello, Zombo. Where are you, little buddy?
oh man,
Hey, little buddy.
Corinne was talking about on the way. We were walking past Nissan Stadium because we crossed the bridge on foot because of the First Lady's motorcade. All the roads were like blocked temporarily, and it wasn't going to be faster to take the bus.
Okay.
And
Second gentleman didn't make an appearance.
no.
No, haven't seen him much lately.
No. But so we were walking across the bridge by the courthouse, and we're passing Nissan Stadium. And my daughter's like, "Oh, one of my friends says that they're going to a concert on Friday, but they won't say which band it is." And I think that's suspicious. And I'm like, "Yeah, maybe your friend's making that up." And she's like, "No, I think that she's just going to something really embarrassing.
Oh,
like
okay.
like her dad is making her go to something that he cares about but she doesn't like." And I'm like, "How is that embarrassing for the kid? Like oh no, my dad's taking me to see Rush." Like that, I mean, why would you not?
Cause they're at an age where everything's embarrassing.
Yeah,
Like I remember like a few months ago, your daughter was telling me like, I can't watch Adventure Time anymore because my friends say it's for babies.
well,
It's like,
so that's the
but
thing.
lots of adults love this show. Like it's a show beloved by all ages.
Now, and in fairness, she did start watching Adventure Time with me when she was a baby, so I could see like why she might instinctively think that. Well, that's not wrong.
Yeah, but then I've also like brought up like musicians to her, and
Yeah.
she'll say things like, "Nobody talks about Olivia Rodrigo anymore," and I'm like, "What?"
Yeah. Well, so the thing is though that so I'm like, okay, well, I think it's more likely that not that they're embarrassed by their parent taking them to an old people concert,
Well, maybe they're going to like a younger sibling's
that-
Wiggles concert or something.
Yeah, well, I was like, yeah, maybe they're going to a kids concert. And she's like, "What's a kids concert?" And I'm like, like Teletubby. And she's like, "What?" And I'm like, "Barney and Friends." And she's like, "What?" And I'm like, I'm just gonna make one up at this point because they're all the same to you. The Tub Tub Babies.
Tub. Frank Capelli.
And she's like, "The Tub Tub Babies does sound like it's for babies." And I'm like, I know, that's why I made it. I think
That's the name of my new band.
I was
people.
already thinking about tub thumping.
Tub Babies.
The Tub Tub Babies. Because you might think, oh, is it the Tub Thump Babies? No.
No,
It's the
no.
Tub Tub Babies.
Tub. Badger Spanner got dragged to a Pink Floyd concert
At the age of 7 and
when they were
hated it.
7.
Oh
Did you ever learn to appreciate the works of Pink Floyd?
no. And that ruined prisms and rainbows forever.
Oh. And walls.
Stupid covenants. about
Bricks,
floods.
walls.
Barely stand the Wizard of Oz.
Can't stand anyone being on fire. I hate that band. Yeah, Flying Pigs too. Tub babies. Tub babies, making your dreams come true.
Tub baby. He drinks an applesauce. He drinks a carrot sauce. He drinks a green bean sauce. He drinks. I don't. What?
Hey, don't give it away for free.
I know, right? Yeah. Tub thumping is our 360-degree goal today if we rotate the camera all the way around.
We've already rotated
20 degrees. Yes, thanks to Drew Baca. And tips are welcome via... Oh, that's the wrong copy and paste job. Oh, boy. Oh,
So what does that put us? 1/18th towards our goal?
boy, that sounds right. You know, I
don't do math.
I was gonna say, I've been watching the show Countdown, or well, technically 8 out of 10 Cats does Countdown, and it's really annoying that they server roleplay.
Oh, you misspelled server.
Yeah, I did.
Yeah.
I'm excited. Go for it. Oh. I don't know what I'm doing.
I don't know.
Just saying things.
Hey there, NJ.
Let me get into the air before the server restarts. So I guess, should I disconnect? Probably. I was going to try and disconnect somewhere safe.
Did you ever get coffee? Do you need to make coffee?
No.
I can hold down the
I've
floor
got
if need be.
this. I've got the soda. Yeah, my allergies have been killing me lately. Like my eyes are just like, ugh.
Ooh, burning. You
So-
need some eye drops or something.
Yeah, or something. But that's the thing is I'm at the point where it's like if I try to make coffee while I need eye drops, I'll just accidentally be like, oh, where was this going? Bleh. No,
Yeah.
no, it's good. I'll just stick with the cold.
Especially if you're making onion coffee.
Onion coffee.
You'll be in some real pain.
Oh no.
NJ asks, how are you both this morning? I'm doing pretty well. As well as I can be.
So the problem is at this point, I don't know how long it's going to take for Asuma to actually restart the server.
Why does that need to happen?
Unclear.
What's the end? Unclear. It's unclear why we need to restart this server.
Oh, it looks like the HermitCraft TCG tokens broke.
The HermitCraft TCG tokens broke.
And also the
now
place where we do the world download broke. Everything!
Everything
Everything
broke.
broke. Everything broke.
Everything's broken. Everything's broken.
Okay.
Everything's broken. Except for you. Yay. You're wonderful the way you are.
It's me. I was people are saying, what were you gonna say about 8 out of 10 Cats does Countdown? Oh, I was gonna complain that they never use exponential powers. They never like if they need an 8, they never go or
8 to the 10th cats countdown.
yeah, they never do like 2 to the 3rd is 8. I guess are they only allowed to multiply, divide, and subtract, or are the comedians like just ignorant of other operations?
I don't know.
Like, are they allowed to use
Why are they deprived of that power?
yeah, I don't know.
Like the second power, the third power. They only have the first.
Yeah. Only adding, subtracting, dividing, and multiplying allowed. That's less interesting.
Yeah.
I just thought that they were bad at math. I didn't realize how flawed the game was.
Rules.
They're powerless. Okay, well, so one of the things that's funny about the show is it's comedians playing like one of like England's most loved.
I had a feeling it was
games.
English.
Yeah. Well, I think the original show is French. But then
I
they
had a feeling it was originally French and then became English.
yeah. Just like port wine? I don't. Is it? I don't know actually.
Is
No.
it?
I
Cooking Sherry? I don't know.
yeah.
Who is Sherry anyway? Why does she get all the credit?
Craig Sirota says, Happy Major League Baseball opening day to those who celebrate.
Yeah. Baseball, baby.
Yeah.
America's pastime.
Yeah. Oh, man.
People will come, Joe.
Every December, like, one of the first things that Art says to me every December is he'll, like, we'll like, I'll show up at his place or he'll show up here or whatever, and he'll be like, oh my god, I can't believe Amanda just wished me a happy Honda Days, even though she knows that we're a Toyotathon family.
And he's been saying this to you
He's
for
been
like
saying
10
this
years
for like
straight?
20 years.
Okay.
He never
Love it.
every winter, December rolls around and that's coming.
Happy holidays.
Apparently, Richard Ayoade have tried to use exponential powers and been not allowed. Matthew,
Good on you, Richard.
yeah, Richard, just keep on powering. I don't know. Matthew Lavis says, "Sup, Joe and Quinn. I'm working on my cool person lingo." Well, you're doing great.
Sup, fellow cool person.
Sup.
For the people who don't know, sup is an abbreviated form of "what's up," which is a phrase that's not meant to be taken literally.
Wait, Badger says they are allowed to use powers,
Oh,
but anything goes as long as you only use the numbers once. Oh, well, can you use remainders then? If you're like, if you needed a 1 and you had a 16 and a 5, it's like, or, wait, yeah.
wait. So you can't use 3 to the second power if you've already used 9?
No. Like, if you've already, you get, like, it's kind of like Scrabble where you get a bunch of numbers.
I see.
And you have to get, like, a 3-digit result.
Ah.
And so, like, if you've already, let's say that there's a 3, a 7, and a 2.
Sure.
You can't use the 3 both for addition and multiplication.
Oh, but you can use one of them as the power.
Badger says, yeah, you can use power, so I don't know.
Wow.
Yeah, but you can definitely only use the numbers once. Yeah, modulo is a fancy word for remainder. So, like, 16 modulo
Well, now that
5
sounds
would be
Italian to
1.
me. This game's getting international.
It's a zombie Cleo.
Modulo. Ciao, zombie Cleo.
Isn't ciao bye?
It's hello and goodbye.
Really? Is it also thank you? Is it there?
No, that's grazie.
Wow. I feel like I'm learning so much. I can't believe the show is free. Though it is supported by viewers like you. There, that was
Thank
me
you.
trying to do the, that was a PBS voice.
PBS voice, which is adjacent to NPR in many ways.
Yeah, I guess. I don't know.
Closest things we have to the BBC, I suppose.
I gotta say, I've had so many people talk to me about NPR in the last week. Like, normally, nobody would bring up NPR. Like, it just wasn't
How does it come up? Hey, Joe, have you heard about this thing called NPR?
No, they're just like, Joe, I was listening to NPR the other day, and they were talking about this kid from Colorado. I'm like, Escher Lefskoff. And they're like, yeah, he plays pinball, and he's really good. And I'm like, yeah, he is. Like, so apparently, like, the threshold...
When you say kid, do you mean like child, or do you mean
He's like-
person who's younger than us, which is a lot of people?
He's under the age of 20.
Oh, okay.
But,
Because to
like-
me, like a 31-year-old is a kid.
But he was, like, winning tournaments, like, when he was below 18.
Oh, okay.
Um,
Young Fisher.
no. Okay, so I think I am gonna put a torch back here, just...
Sure. Shed some light on the situation.
Yeah.
Who put all those torches on the hillside?
Me.
It looks very nice.
I didn't put enough, that's why
looks
there's
very
zombie
lovely.
noises.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
I did a bad job. It wasn't a half-hearted attempt, but boy, the results came out that way. I really put everything into this. And then I'm like, oh, there's a lot of gaps.
Yeah.
I'm done with that step. I'm gonna, yeah. yeah, I'm done with that step now, so not going back to that.
The Nope Queen says National Public Radio?
Yeah. Pearlescent moon, pearlescent moon.
Pearlescent moon, pearlescent moon.
Morning, Pearl. It is a busy Thursday today.
Guten Morgen.
It's weird because I was like, I need to start recording on the server on Monday mornings because I'm not normally online at that time. And I'm probably missing all the British people because it seems like on Thursday mornings and Friday mornings there's a bunch of people around.
Right.
And so I showed up on Monday, and there's just nobody around. I'm like, oh, I guess that's like everybody's editing day or something. And so I'm like, oh, okay, maybe that wasn't my best plan. It's fine. I still like playing video games. Why does it still
Best laid plans of Mice and Joe Hills.
Now, why does it still say setting up? I have very low confidence in this setup. We haven't really stress tested it.
My whole life is setting up.
Yeah.
I don't know what I'm setting up for.
Well, that's a very raised Catholic approach to things. Yeah. It's like just in case you didn't get enough setup, we've got another Italian thing, Purgatorio.
Yeah. Setting up the eternal stream.
He's gone to that big PAX East sound isolated booth in the sky. Yeah. Like oh, wait. Did you see the Casey Green comic of this bug? Sitting at a computer with a headset on, and he's like, listen up, chat. You won't believe what happened to your boy Grega when he woke up this morning.
No, I have not seen that.
Casey Green is the best.
Not seen that.
Yeah, he's the guy that did the dog with the flames.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I know that one.
Yeah.
That's that's a fundamental cultural work. That
Yeah.
should probably be in a museum at some point.
Probably is. But yeah, he really pioneered being as obnoxious as possible to keep your audience size manageable. Huge influence on me, obviously.
Oh, wow.
But yeah, I got to meet him.
So that's why you're always pushing people away.
Yeah, that's how I go. No, I got to meet him at, which comics event was it? I guess it was Kineticon a few years back. And he asked Spike if Art and I were cool.
I don't think I know Spike.
So Spike runs Iron Circus Comics. And Spike is like, yeah, they're cool. And he's like, good, because I don't want random people following us around when we're hanging out. And we're like, thanks.
That's fair.
Yeah.
I understand that.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
wouldn't want that either.
Because it's like, yeah, so that's one of the weird things about conventions is part of the point is to go and meet other people in the industry.
Yeah,
And
it's about the hang.
but like there's also just like then random people there too, because it's a fan convention as well. It's not just a professional meetup, right? So it's like, okay.
And then there's a lot of people who show up who have no self-awareness whatsoever.
Yeah, which I mean, in fairness, is me. And now that I'm telling this story, I think Casey Green still didn't want us there, even though Spike vouched for us. But, like, I mean, here's the thing, though, is if Spike wants us there, I'm not leaving. Like,
Yeah. Well, and Casey Green had the power and authority to say, I don't want them.
No, if he had just actually...
Yeah,
no,
you would have left.
No, yeah, I would have left if he asked us
wouldn't
to
have made
leave.
us
No,
think
but
about it,
he was actually... No, like, over the course of the evening, he was very cool.
Oh, nice.
So it wasn't like he was, like, the whole evening. He was like, oh, you gotta get rid of these guys. No. No, he was really funny. Very chill guy. Yeah. It's funny because I don't like telling stories a lot where you're like name dropping.
Mm-hmm.
But I think spending a week in London where Badger is just like, oh, and here's where I saw so and so, and here's where I saw so and so, and I'm like, these stories are fine. I don't know why I get worried about like name dropping. I should just be okay with telling stories that if they incidentally.
Well, also like Badger is within a sphere of well-known people.
Well, that's what I'm saying though. Is I'm like, as long as there's
So
like
it's
a
just
point
like-
to the story, it's not just like, let me tell you about the time that William Shakespeare, I call him Bill, and I stole Jesus's time machine. Ha ha ha.
Well, now you're just name dropping.
I know.
Nobody wants to hear about
Nobody
Jesus's
wants you to
time
name
machine.
drop Jesus. It's like, oh, I got to drive his time machine. Oh yeah, Jesus and I were tight.
Yeah, he made a little too much wine out of that water that night.
So I'm not really going anywhere with that. I don't have a second. That would have been a great transition into, as long as the name dropping is appropriate. And then instead of the Jesus Shakespeare thing, if I had an actual like second story about a famous person, but I don't. No.
That's it. That's all. I mean, does it get any more famous?
Well, the other thing is that
Bill Shakespeare and Jesus, does it get any more famous?
Most people are like, wait, that is fan fiction for the ages. I would read it. Well, that was also a very poor summary of the film Hamlet 2. I changed some stuff around.
True.
But, like, yeah, if that concept sounds interesting to you, because, what is it? Hamlet 2, the premise is that Jesus steals his dad's time machine to rescue Hamlet.
Right. And Steve Coogan's in there.
It's really funny. There's a lot of rollerblading in the film, which you wouldn't have expected. I didn't expect that, but I love rollerblading. I never get to do it.
I remember enjoying the film, but I haven't seen it in like 15 years.
Oh yeah, I haven't.
Can't vouch for it
I haven't
now.
seen it for a long time either. So I hope it holds up, but I can't promise you it does.
No idea.
Dave USPS says Jesus made up the name in vain rule because he was sick of name droppers. Yes, Jesus, who famously carried a bunch of rocks with words on them down from a mountain.
And that was the second set.
Yeah. Illuminate the Dark tips 5 CHF. Okay, let me see. I have no idea. I think those are
CHF.
Swiss francs,
Oh, okay.
but I
Sounds like a
that comes.
initialism for a high school or something.
What does the F stand for? Fool? Charleston High Fool?
High fool.
The Highfool Tower. Thank you, Illuminate the Dark, for the 5. That does get us 15 away from the next phase camera expansion. We are splitting the tips 50-50 today. If we hit 360, we're gonna sing Tub Thumping.
Tub Thumping by Chimbawimba. Chimbawimba.
Is Joe a decked out backstage worker? No, I'm not like part of the decked out experience. Like a backstage worker, I'm assuming would be like a backstage worker at a horror ride would be like somebody who does like the jump scares.
Oh, okay.
Oh, okay. I forgot to
I
tell
leave
you.
that to the animatronics.
Okay, hold. Okay. So you know what a jump scare is, right? Yeah, it's like when something jumps out at you and you like freak out. So anyway, This is a new version of Minecraft with a bunch of new mods.
Okay.
And I had kind of the opposite of a jump scare experience. I don't know how to describe it except as possibly
the opposite
like
of a jump is to fall.
No,
and
instead
the
of
opposite
a
to, like,
jump
be
scare,
contented.
it was like a jump delight.
Oh, okay.
Okay, so there's a screen that you can press to see your coordinates. You might have seen it when I was flying around the other day.
Yeah.
When I got lost in the nether roof.
Yeah.
And so
We all like chords here.
So apparently the new version of Minecraft, there's a mod for it that changes that. And let me show you what happens when I press the F3 button, because I was not expecting this.
What? Oh, that it slides in and out. Did it never do that before?
Yeah, and it wasn't colorful. And so
Yeah,
just
that's pretty nice.
Yeah,
I like it.
Yeah, but like the first time it happened, I was just like, I was like, the mom in Arrested Development when the private detective shows up.
Yes.
Yeah, like I was non-ironically doing that. I was like,
What's the detective character's name?
It's like a French name, isn't it?
Yeah, but he's like
He's not French. He's always handing out.
played by the actor who was in the movie How the West Was Fun, starring the Olsen twins.
Oh yeah,
He plays the antagonist, Bart Gaffuli.
Fully.
Yeah.
Such a great name. Eliminate the dark tips 5. It says to make it easier to split the tip. Thank you for doubling down.
Gene Parmesan. There we
Gene
go.
Parmesan. Yeah. Okay. Wait, is Parmesan French or Italian?
Well, I would guess if you're in France and you want Parmesan cheese, you would say Parmesan.
They might say Parmesan.
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 I'm not sure.
I don't know. Any French speakers in the chat? Probably.
I was gonna say maybe the person from Switzerland. I think they speak some French there on occasion as a treat. Parmesan is in Italy. Okay. Parma is in Italy, and oh, the Easian part means like it's Parmese.
Yeah, like American.
Yeah, not an Americant.
Mm.
But yeah, that was how I felt when I
Yeah,
first.
Big Parma. They got all the butts.
Oh yeah. Okay, I can't.
Telling us cheese is good for us.
BC a rock opera. The only bad thing about the movie is that Glinner and Lawrence Fox have bit parts.
Oh yeah. Not big Glinner fans over here.
It's a place name, so it doesn't change for other languages. Ah. Oh, you know what? I went to Fleet Street the other day, Badger, as part of my friend's divorce proceedings. And
It's a English style pub.
it's an
here
English style pub, and
in Nashville, Tennessee.
yeah, you know what? I figured out which ESB it was that I usually get there.
Which one?
It's a Fuller's ESB.
Oh, Fuller, go easy on the Pepsi.
Fuller, go ESB on the Pepsi. Yeah. It's an extra special bitter.
Extra special bitter.
Yeah. Because when I was in England, I had some London Pride. Because I was like,
Good for you.
because I was trying to
You were
remember
only there for a few days and you already had some London Pride.
exactly. Unlike the residents, who went at a comedy show and were asked anybody from England here tonight, dead silence.
Dead silence. That's just kind of their default. Dead silence, I think.
Yeah, I mean, in fairness, that was a good.
And it works most
That
of
was
the
a
time. It
great
gets the
joke.
job done. It gets
That
the
was a
job done.
great
Yeah.
joke. I had a lot of London Pride though at when we were. London Pride is Fuller's.
Oh.
Okay,
And
well,
that means Fuller's is London Pride.
so okay, yeah, clearly I don't know what I'm talking about. Okay, because I was thinking like this tastes like exactly the same. Like the Guinness tastes different, but the London Pride tasted just like the ESB that I would normally have.
Yeah.
Where, despite Guinness being like supposedly the same drink.
Well, Guinness is a subpar product.
Well, when I was at Fleet Street, I asked the waiter. I said, you know, I usually get the ESB when I'm here, but I don't know which kind it actually is. Do you have what ESBs do you have? And he's like, oh, we've got two, Fuller's and London Pride. But maybe he was just trying to give me the illusion of choice. Maybe that's like an in joke.
Yes, it's an illusion, Joseph.
Yeah. Maybe just one of the kegs is frequently tapped out, so they just give people from either. They're like, these Americans don't know the difference between Fuller's and London Pride. It's fine.
Yeah, maybe one is the version they make here and the other was imported or something. I don't know.
Yeah.
Slight variations. Next time, order both and see what you think.
Yeah. Is Guinness both an alcohol company and people who make the world record book? I was gonna laugh and say, of course not, but then again, the Michelin stars are the people that make the tires, so like the whole world is nonsense. Who can say? I'm not gonna tell you one way or the other.
Yes, and I'm sure they're all somehow associated with Alec Guinness, Obi-Wan Kenobi as well.
Yeah, he was really good in that Star Wars.
Yeah, some other things as well. But...
You know what I haven't?
He was in a Star War.
Yeah, I haven't.
He was only in. Yeah.
I haven't rewatched Lawrence of Arabia for a while.
Me neither. It's good. You just gotta set aside.
You gotta have
4
the
hours.
day. Yeah.
You gotta set aside the day. You know.
Like, and if you're
you gotta
like,
make sure the kid has something to keep them occupied.
oh, I was gonna say this might be a what do we do when Corinne's
During the
gone?
summer? Oh, heck.
Yeah, when Corinne's
Let's
gone over
do
the
it.
summer, and I'm like, because like I feel like when she's gone, there's a lot of, like, I feel like I should be going out of my way to do things that I can't do when she's here.
Right, like watch any movie at all.
Yeah, 'cause she does not like watching any movie at all. But if I'm like, hey, you want to watch Lawrence of Arabia? It's everything you dislike about movies, but longer. Not gonna get a very positive response.
Yeah, and we wouldn't want to lie to her and say it's a 4-part TV series.
No.
Well, maybe, I suppose 2-part with the intermission. I'm going to take a slight break.
Okay.
I'll return.
Are you going to the kitchen?
Was going in that direction. Do you need something?
I was gonna say, could you
Or-
grab me some soda?
Which
Thank
soda?
you. Cola.
Cola?
Non-specific
cola.
brand because they're not paying us.
Okay.
But if you want to pay us, 50% of all the tips that come in tonight are going to Quinn. I'm keeping the other half. Well, actually,
Wear the sun drop hat because they are paying us?
they're not paying us. Are they paying you? They're not paying me. I was gonna say 50% of the tips are going to Quinn. I was gonna say the other half is going to me. Technically, I'm eating all of the service fees, so probably 45% of the tips are staying with me. 5% of them is going to YouTube or PayPal. But Quinn gets an even 50 because the math on the service fees is too hard for me to calculate. Welcome, Reese Clay. I'm glad you could join us. Okay, let's get a pork chop. Cook pork chop. Wobble Bob says, hey, Joe, feeling better? Why aren't you building the pinball machine? Well, I'm trying to help out with Decked Out a little bit. Also, like, I don't have my laptop set up with the new version of Minecraft yet. And I really need... I haven't moved the other table. Basically, there's a bunch of... In order to get to work on the pixel art, I need to set up a second computer with the spectator account, and I don't have that set up right now. We have a new version of Minecraft here on the server, which is why you can see Grian's base from here now. 119.4 is really nice, it turns out, if you modify it heavily. And boy, there are a lot of mods for it. So, in particular, I'm using the Bobby mod to view stuff a long distance away. But I don't have mods set up on my laptop. And the desks in here got moved around because the cable guy was here yesterday. And until I get that sorted, there's nowhere to put the laptop. And it's a mess. Basically, it's a mess in here. I'm working on it, but when it's time to stream, it's time to stream. I can't just be like, guys, I'm going to start 2 hours late. It's like, no, we're going live with what we have. And we're going to help where we can in the meantime. Okay, we are running low on snow, so we're gonna have to go make more of that. Then we'll go... I figure we'll make 1 shovel's worth of snow. But especially now that... So, the reason I really am motivated to work on this now is because I've been working on... With the... you know what? I know a lot of y'all don't normally watch the screen, but you might find this interesting. I'm going to go ahead and put this video on real quick to showcase why I'm working on Decked Out. So if you look over at your screens, it's going live now. So with the new mods installed, I can load distant chunks easier. I have to have flown over them at least once, but basically you can see Decked Out from really far away, almost anywhere on the server, and the terraforming not being done looks bad. And so a server fly-through video like this would definitely benefit from having those gaps filled in, right? But yeah, you can see my pinball machine in the background there. This is a client-side mod. But yeah, so I was thinking that if I'm going to be flying around the server, Decked Out is one of the most visually impressive things, but in the distance, the terraforming looks clearly broken. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
So, yeah, I wanted to make sure that this looked better. Right. Because other people are probably going to start using this mod too, and so Decked Out is going to be, like, really visible in the distance. So... Other people in the dock will be able to see the full perimeter if they install the mod. Replace all Cubs crafting tables with obsidian as a callback to the beginning of the season. Maybe. The thing is, it needs to be contextually appropriate. Like, it works, but for maximum humor, the timing and delivery are a combo.
Maximum humor!
Woo!
Oh, hey, we got a tip.
We do have a tip rolling in. Let's see who that is from. It looks like it's from Shifty Pumpkin, who says, "Enjoy nondescript cola, now with refreshing ambiguity." So we're going to go ahead and get 20 more on the board here. Rotate the camera 20 more degrees. Thank you, Shifty Pumpkin.
Nondescript cola.
Woo! Oh, you know what? I forgot to rotate us 10 degrees earlier when those Swiss francs came in, because I was so distracted by what Swiss francs were. Sorry to Swiss franc tipper earlier.
Oh, yeah.
But yeah, anyway, so y'all see why it might be visually important to get some of this stuff terraformed in, roughed in.
I guess my question is, have you terraformed yourself today?
No, I'm a wreck.
Have you made yourself more suitable for life?
Okay. Rad says, "How are you and the other hermits avoiding spoilers for Decked Out?" Well, I don't go inside Decked Out. I just hang out here. Like, it's extra effort to go into Decked Out.
Yeah.
And, like, I mean...
Why would you ever go into such a place?
Yeah, at least... Well, the other thing is, like, Tango's making episodes about, like, how he's designing it and stuff. But we're too busy to watch all of each other's stuff all the time. And usually we feel guilty about that. But now... we're helping by being too busy. Yeah, now it's beneficial that we're giving Tango a in-person...
Could you imagine
or not
for a moment that I have no idea what Decked Out is and explain it to me?
Sure. Have you ever played the game Clank?
Nope.
Oh.
Is it similar to Krang?
No.
Pink Dude?
So,
Nope.
basically, Decked Out is the game that Tango is building inside of this. It's
Game inside of a game.
Yeah. So this is going to house the Decked Out dungeon.
But it has nothing to do with the card game.
Not the HermitCraft TCG.
Okay.
But it does so Clank is a card game that it's based on.
Okay.
It's basically...
Because that's when I heard the word decked, I was like, that's probably a play on deck, like a card deck. You know?
It is, yeah. So Clank is a card and board game that this is based off of incredibly loosely. I would almost say inspired by more than based off.
Sure.
At this point.
Yeah.
But basically,
based off carries a lot of weight with it.
yeah, yeah, but it was inspired. Okay. Whew.
What you doing?
I'm making snow. Oh, I forgot to turn the machine on. Thank you.
I was like, I don't feel like anything.
Are you accomplishing anything at all?
Seem like it. But
Shouldn't there be like noises or
some
uh?
results?
Yeah.
I don't
Well,
know.
what are we looking for here?
Not that everything needs to be about results.
No, but
Sometimes
like,
it's about the journey, and it
What are
looks
we-
like you were having a good time.
yeah, it's like you're just sipping your drink, having a good time. I get it.
Sipping your drink.
Yeah. So, in particular, Clank and Decked Out are both press your luck games where you explore a dungeon using cards.
Oh, I don't press my luck.
Yeah, that's why I guess you haven't played Clank.
No,
Uh,
I steam clean it.
I think so. I have the new Clank Catacombs game, and you can technically play it with 2 people. I think you can. I think you can technically play it with 1, but
Oh, wow.
yeah, I played it with Art and Amanda at Tennessee Game Days. It was fun.
Nice.
We tried to involve Corinne, and she was like, I'll play for 20 minutes until lunchtime. And I'm like, well, it's not really the kind of game that you can just drop. But you know what? In fairness, none of us had played the game ever.
Yeah.
So I was like, what we'll do is we'll set up the game, and we'll do like a 20-minute starter attempt
Sure.
with the plan of, well, just to make, because it's really easy to make a mistake in a game in the first 5 minutes and then go, oh man, I really screwed that up.
Right. For sure.
When you've never played it before.
Yeah.
So I'm like, okay, here's what we're going to do is when lunch is served, which ended up being like 30 minutes anyway, because they were running behind. It's like when lunch is served, then we'll take a break. We'll pull Corinne out of the game at that point, and we'll all... It's easier to reset the game 4 or 5
Right.
turns in than to like
yeah.
from... Because originally we were like, well, should we just start after lunch? Indecisiveness.
But we kind of did that with, what was that game? Trip to Africa? Or...
Yeah, Journey to Africa, I
Right.
think. Yeah, where we
We
kind of
played
played
like
a basic learning round.
Right. More transparent. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Here's what my cards are. Can I do this? Blah, blah, blah.
Yeah, I really like playing games with cards visible when you're doing a teaching game, because it's
Yeah.
like, at that point, I would feel bad if I won because I was clever, because then people are like, well, Joe, I didn't know the rules. I'm never going to play with this with you again. Whereas if I'm like, okay, I've got all my cards face up and I'm explaining my justification for making choices,
Right.
then the people are like, oh, okay, I wouldn't have thought of that, but now I know to look for it. Right, and then they have fun and play a second time for real.
Yeah.
Rad.
That's a lot of growth since we played that Goosebumps game and you didn't properly explain
Yeah, I didn't
the
explain
rules
that
to
you
me.
could die
And
by
you kept
following the
laughing
fix.
at me for dying, so that was...
Yeah, that was not.
So good for you.
Yeah, yeah. I was a fun child. Okay, I really probably should clear out more of my inventory before doing this because it'll speed things up a lot, but
Nice, nice.
should also turn this off now that I'm not actively. It's not really that advantageous to kind of switch tasks, but I feel like it's better for my mind. Like, it's way more efficient if I do this as a separate step entirely.
Right.
But I'm like, or not. Okay, yeah, let's put some of this stuff away for now. Dun, 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 dun. Matthew Lavis says, I usually do very bad at press your luck games as I get bad luck right at the beginning. Yeah, bad luck in a press your luck game is not a winning strategy.
Yeah.
Says, my family once played a risk variant where losing your main base knocked you out no matter how many territories you had left. I forgot to mention this while explaining the rules. They've never let me forget it. There you go.
It'll follow you the rest of your life.
Here we go.
Here we go.
Did you pick up any new games during the spring sale on Steam?
No, I did not. Because I don't have much time to play them.
No, that's fair. I always...
I've purchased so many games over the years that I still need to get around to playing, but haven't played.
So the new thing that what I've realized is the trick is to buy games that are like roguelikes where you're like expected to die in 15 minutes you're if you last 25 minutes in this game, you've probably won it, right?
Yeah, that's fair.
And so, because I don't have time to play a game for 4 hours, but like sometimes there's like awkward things where it's like, okay, I've got a call in 20 minutes and I need a break anyway, you know. And I don't want to start something else right now because I'll wander off and forget I'm waiting for a call.
Right.
Like, it's like I just need to sit at the computer and be ready to go. So I got this game called Peglin. I don't know if you remember Peggle at all. It was one of the old PopCap games.
Sounds familiar.
Yeah, so in
Is it a verb? I'm just peggling along today, folks.
Well, kind of. It's a combination of peg and goblin. And so you're a goblin.
But it's not related to a piglet at all.
No.
I see.
But yeah, you're a goblin and you throw rocks to defeat monsters.
That's relatable.
Yeah. So Peggle was kind of like a pachinko style game.
Oh yeah, like that actor Al Pachinko.
Not quite. But yeah, man, I really need to get a ender chest in here. Okay, well, it's fine. Vampire Survivors is that game for me, says Red Sadkey. Gotcha.
Oh,
Welcome, Sir
I've
Fawn.
seen that game played. Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know that one. Oh, I wonder. So was Ren playing against Pearl? Was that Ren's Pearl round?
Was that Ren versus Pearl?
I don't know. Or it might have been Ren watching somebody else's game.
Or Ren watching somebody else's game.
It's a mystery to me. Oh, did I set my status to streaming?
Let the mystery be.
Yeah, because we restarted the server, so I don't think my status persisted. Ren might have been the ref. Yeah, that makes sense.
Ren ref.
I feel like if it was a Pearl win versus Ren wouldn't have said something in the chat, because that's kind of a spoiler. So I'm assuming that he's reffing somebody else's game there. Vampire Survivor is a bullet hell roguelike where you are the bullet hell. Okay, that sounds cool.
Yeah.
Oh, I forgot to turn the thing back on. Yeah, my game versus Cleo is in... Oh, I don't have my watch on hours. What time is it?
Time. 9:33.
Yeah, so my game versus Cleo is at 1 Central.
Oh, okay.
So we can't go late and then get lunch. We need to wrap up on time or skip lunch.
Oh, I'm not skipping lunch.
Well, yeah, I mean, you don't have to. Yeah.
I don't have a Clio stream.
Yeah, that was good planning. There's Brotato, which is a bullet hell game where you are a potato. That's interesting. I think the one where you are the bullet hell sounds more interesting. Zumani says, didn't James Stephanie Sterling do some writing for Vampire Survivors? Oh, I don't know. But the fact that you know that somebody did writing on it that's a plus.
It's reassuring that someone wrote something.
Yeah,
for
because
it.
somebody was telling, like, one thing, I've never played Power Wash Simulator, but I was reading a Twitter thread about how it has some of the best writing of any game.
Oh yeah, I got to see NJ playing that a little bit.
And it's like, oh, I didn't know that there was, like, jokes and stuff in. I thought the game's concept was a joke, kind of, but I didn't know that it was, I didn't know that the game featured humor strongly as an
Okay.
element.
Yeah.
Right.
Whereas before I saw it being played, I thought it was like deadly serious. Like,
Deadly serious.
I'm going to power wash, and I'm gonna do an excellent job.
Magic Egg says it has a story. It's not that it has as much of an overarching plot so much as it has, like, a bunch of stuff going on where, like, your clients
Yeah.
are, like, texting you or, like, things are happening around you.
Right, which
Right.
is a
It's
narrative.
it's environmental narrative, kind
Right,
of, more than...
right.
It's not like you're... Well, once again, I haven't played it, so maybe you do have some sort of long-term goal. But
Yeah, maybe your character has an arc in some way.
But, yeah. Because that was one of the things I really liked about Tower of Guns. Was that, like...
That sounds a bit precarious.
It is.
A tower of guns.
Yeah.
Is it anything like the Leonard Cohen Tower of Song?
So basically, in Tower of Guns, it's a roguelike game with procedurally generated weapons, power-ups, and maps, basically.
Cool.
But it's a first-person shooter, and there's just, like, robots everywhere that are trying to murder you. And the tower is, like...
Sounds realistic. at
Yeah.
least.
And the thing is, though, that there's also a bunch of different scripts, and it randomly assigns you one when the game starts. You don't get to pick who you're playing as, necessarily.
Right.
But, like, so, like, it, you know, in one playthrough, you're, like, the tower is just, like, turn back, intruder, and, it's just, like, then there's the icon that represents the player, and this time it's an old lady, and it's just, like, I told the landlord we needed easier access to the recycling, and this is how they respond. And the town, you know, that sort of thing. And she's just like, I am not going to let you get in the way of me dropping off my class. I'm not taking this down the block.
Oh.
You know, that sort of thing. And, like,
Heck yeah, she's my hero.
yeah. And so like, the premise is that, like, you're playing as somebody navigating this incredibly challenging murder maze tower full of robot guns. But your goal each time is always something stupid.
Okay, yeah.
But,
So
like...
it sounds like the movie The Raid, or like a non-stop John Wick type thing.
Yeah. The
Except
president...
with robots.
Yeah, the president has been captured by ninjas. Are you a bad enough dude to save him?
Personally, no.
That's fair. Okay, Shovel's getting a little low, but not completely burnt out, so we're gonna just hang out here for a little while longer.
But I'm also on the fence about whether presidents are worth saving or not. Because you get the job and you're like automatically a war criminal, so I don't know.
Yeah.
It's hard to avoid.
Can war criminals be redeemed? We'll see a lot of New York Times articles.
Or at 11.
We'll see a lot of New York Times articles about that when a bunch of Russian oligarchs move over here soon.
Yeah, it's happening.
Yeah. It's like, their money is good, but can their hearts be once more? Are the XP bottles used up? I'm saving those for emergencies. I need to go fix this Elytra anyway, so I was going to be heading over there to... Basically, I was going to the repair place anyway, so it's not like I need to waste the experience bottles.
Like you're still wearing that head from last week.
It's really fun.
It's nice.
I like it. Whoops.
Bit of a collector's item as well.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Will only go up in value.
Magenta Avocado says, my husband has played nothing but Vampire Survivor for months.
Wow.
And Kindleless says, I judge, but we play a reasonable amount of Minecraft. Nothing unreasonable about the amount of Minecraft we play. No. Nothing at all.
No, I mean... Joe, you're probably just logging a couple hours every week, right?
Yeah, one or two.
One or two. Nothing big.
Yeah, thanks to Asuma for making this marvelous stone machine.
Thank you, Asuma. Tatsuma.
So I don't want every time you come visit to be just me being like, oh, hey, that thing I mentioned last week, did you have a chance to look at it? Because you probably didn't, realistically.
Well, what was the thing I was supposed to look at last week?
Computer show.
Nope.
Okay.
I haven't had time to watch my shows, let alone start new ones.
No, that's fine. I figured as much. Dang it.
But I'll be like wrapping up some big editing work fairly soon, and then my schedule will be the big empty.
Big empty. Do you have like a target? Maybe not a deadline, but do you have a target for when you're trying to turn that over?
Next few weeks.
Nice. Hey, Ruzuzu tips 20 and says snow. Boom. That's gonna rotate us another 20 degrees, bring us up to 70 degrees angular. Ruzuzu.
That's about what it's the high is forecasted to be today here in
nice.
sunny Nashville, Tennessee.
Sunny Nashville, Tennessee.
Around 70.
Woo. Okay. That puts us even closer to our goal. If we hit 360, we're going to be performing tub thumping.
Because we get knocked down, but you won't know if we get up again unless we get to 360. A lot of times I don't want to get back up again.
I think, so M. Lavis says, that's actually a seriously interesting question. How will Russian oligarchs be treated after the war? I'm not saying this just to be a jerk. I earnestly believe how well they are treated will be commensurate with their contrition and with their punishment. If they're not really sorry and they're not inconvenienced in any way, they keep all their wealth, then the people who like a lot of money will treat them well. But
Yeah.
in terms of how they're viewed by society,
Right.
it's not, it's a huge difference if they flee Russia now
Yeah.
and abandon their wealth. And then they're like, we're starting over here in America, land of the free.
Yeah, but what do they have to offer?
Well, I mean, some of them do theoretically run businesses
Okay.
like that have technology and educational benefits to working in those fields for decades.
Okay.
So like
But
if
it's not like comparable to Operation Paperclip or something.
not like with the rocketry, no. But like, I mean, the thing is though, if somebody's been running, if somebody actually knows how to run factories, and they're like, hey, can I just get a manufacturing job here? I was a multi-millionaire or billionaire, and I gave it all up in protest. And
Right.
I would like a job working at this factory, and maybe one day I'll run it. I could see that being okay. But
I'd have to learn more about how Russian factories are run
well, I mean,
before I let an oligarch.
I'm not saying
run
that
mine.
they come in and immediately start running the factory.
Sure.
I'm saying though that like they could get a job in America and eventually be accepted as someone who lives here.
They can start on the line like everyone else.
Anybody around to trade for some prankster items? Yeah, I could.
Prankster items. Hey, we got a tip coming in from Evan Netta.
Let's see. What does that say? Absolutely love computer show. Thank you, Evan Netta. And that's going to come out to 2 US Abacus beads. So we're gonna go ahead and rotate that camera to 72 degrees angular. Woo!
Two abacus beats.
Woo! Dave USPS says a lot of the Russian economy is resource extraction, so you'll have a lot of guys who know how to pay people to mine stuff. Well, yeah.
Maybe they'll all become Minecraft streamers.
Yeah. I mean, the other thing, too, though, is, like, in theory, they might have value as intelligence assets. You know? Like, if they say, hey, like, if they're actually defecting, I think they're going to be better received than if they're just like, hey, now that the war's over, I don't want to live in Russia anymore. I want to live in New York City.
Sure.
You know what I mean?
They're like, I know how the KGB operates.
Yeah.
That's helpful.
Or, like, I know something about the logistical infrastructure that's running the war. Like,
Right.
there's a big difference between defecting and just saying, like, okay, war's over, can I live somewhere else because Putin's increasingly unstable?
Right.
Like, if they abandon him while it's helpful to Europe
Yeah.
or the United States, I think they're gonna be received differently.
Yeah, I don't have a lot of compassion if they're like, I was a rich person who took advantage of many people, but now I'm worried about my life, so can I come live here?
Yeah. No.
I'm like, we got enough of those people here ourselves.
Yeah.
You know? We don't need more. It's a real snow day with Joe Hills here.
Apparently. If only I had
It's
a
okay.
team.
Well,
Okay, did I miss
I'm
a
team
block
snow
over
day.
there? Yay. There we go. I can't believe I got that block in there. But, you know, actually what would be helpful, though, is if people did have detailed information about where Putin was storing his wealth offshore. Like, basically one of those, like, hey, I'm going to roll on the boss type of things.
well, yeah, that'd be extremely helpful.
That would be, you know, like... and that person is then legitimately taking their life in their hands, you know, and not just being like, you know, I'd rather live in America.
Yeah, for sure.
Like...
Yeah.
Did I get my helmet back from Doc yet? No.
Do you want it back? Do you need it back?
I don't need it. And I like this helmet more.
Yeah, this helmet's pretty cool.
Like, if we're incidentally in the same place, then I'll bother him about it. But, like, right now I'm trying to do a time lapse here of working on Decked Out. Because I want to see how this looks with the long distance replay mod. And so breaking up a time lapse to go somewhere else is not worthwhile.
Yeah.
But, like, I don't know. I think people get really attached to stuff inside of Minecraft. Like, I'm just kind of at the point where it's like and I can fall in lava and lose everything at any time.
Yes.
I used to get really disappointed because it's like, man, I spent like an hour trying to build a perfect set of armor, or hours in some cases.
Right.
All the tools, everything's exactly perfect, and then I fall in lava or get creepered, and it's all gone. And I'm just like, that's one of the reasons that, like, for several seasons I just didn't use diamonds for anything, because I was like,
you didn't wanna lose 'em.
everything I have is completely replaceable.
But now you've embraced the chaos. You've embraced the impermanence.
Yeah, I'm just like, you know what? Who cares? It's like, yeah, that was my best helmet, but
Right.
it's a helmet.
Yeah.
Like, honestly, this warden head is cooler. That I would say if I didn't have the warden head, I'd be like, yeah, I should go get my helmet back. But
Yeah.
the warden head is...
And if you lose the warden head, you have like what, 10
I've
more
got a
outside
bunch
of your house?
I've literally got them lying around my driveway.
Right.
You know, like, it's not
you're
like...
good for a while.
Yeah, we're gonna be okay. Okay, so this actually here is gonna be a little different here. Okay, so we're gonna have to have that wrapped around somehow.
Are you the lead snow artist here at Decked Out?
Not by intention. It's open to anybody who wants to come by, but
you're doing most of it.
no, I'd say I'm doing a decent amount of it, but like I wouldn't say I'm doing most of it.
Just a chunk.
Yeah, I'm doing a reasonable quantity. Okay. Let's see how this looks from over here. So, yeah, this is already starting to look better. It's gonna be much better by the time we're done. But yeah, I think because the helmet does have a joke to it. It's the joke from Boy Meets World. It's called a scuba helmet, something creepy, underboat, and.
Don't remember that joke from Boy Meets World.
Yeah, like, Mr. Matthews, are you sure you weren't sleeping during class? No, Mr. Feeney. Well then, Mr. Matthews, can you please tell the class what scuba stands for? Something creepy, under, boat, and? It's my favorite joke from the whole series.
I mean, that was a good guess. That is what it stands for.
Yeah. It completely nails it. It makes the teacher look a fool.
And then that same teacher enacts his revenge by following that child everywhere the rest of his life.
Yeah. Yeah, no, there's a bit in the show Girl Meets World where they're talking at dinner, and one of them mentions I hadn't heard from Mr. Feeney in a few years, and the daughter is like, "Who's Mr. Feeney?" Well, he was our 6th grade teacher, and then he was our 7th grade teacher, and then he was our principal in high school, and then also a professor when we went to college. And the daughter goes, "That sounds increasingly improbable." And Topanga's like, "It was." Yeah, the guy who played Corey on Boy Meets World is now running for Congress in California. He ran for city council and didn't get it. Yeah, Ben Savage.
Oh, wow.
So, but that's one of those things like with politics, like sometimes you lose a few times and you just kind of like learn how to run a campaign.
Yeah.
And sometimes you lose a few times and then everybody's like, "You're a loser, you're never going to make it." And then you don't. Like, so I haven't seen which way this is going.
Yeah. The latter happened when I ran for Congress, so I get it.
I was really mad when Joseph Williams ran. Do you remember him from Vanderbilt? Yeah.
Student government.
Oh, I was walking around the office. I was like, "You see this? You see this? Look. This guy was a year younger than me at Vanderbilt. He's running for Congress, and I'm here making websites for magazines like a chump. This is why."
Would you like to be running for Congress?
Well, I didn't want to be making websites for magazines. Like.
Well, maybe he didn't want to be running.
Maybe
for
he didn't want to be running for Congress.
He had
maybe
some pressures put upon him by his family.
That's
or something.
true. That's true. Yeah, maybe
he wanted to be making magazines.
Yeah, making websites for magazines was. I was so mad. And people were like, "Joe, I can't tell if this is a bit or if you're taking this extremely personally." I'm like, "I'm taking this extremely personally."
Well, there's still time.
Yeah, I know. It's just. Jonathan Rhodes says in the interview I saw it, he kind of made it sound like Corey was running for student council. Okay, so yeah, he's gonna have to fix that.
Unless that's intentional, you know. Lean into it.
No, I don't think it would be.
Get the nostalgia vote.
I don't think it would be.
How do we feel about congressional term limits?
in general, I think term limits for basically anything is a good idea.
I agree.
So it's but like, is there a reason you mentioned Congress in particular?
Because you were talking about a guy running for Congress.
That's fair, but it's not like I was talking about a guy. It's like, this guy went to Vanderbilt with me, and now he's been in Congress for 45 years. What?
No, but there are a lot of people who have been.
Yeah, I know.
And shouldn't be.
Different people are good at different things. Yeah, but like, the thing is, just because I'm good at something doesn't mean I want to do it for a living.
Yeah.
Like, yeah.
And you can be like a public servant in other ways if you genuinely are there to be a public servant.
Yeah.
But I think would be a good check to stop people who are just there to get paid by organizations.
I think one of the most important
be
things,
as corrupt as possible.
Political parties need to be encouraged to foster leadership and talent across generational lines, instead of just what is the word, gerontocracy, where it's like, oh, this is a society run by old people, like.
Yeah.
And this was one of the problems.
We've never had a Gen X president. We've never had a millennial president, of course.
Well, there was a whole problem in Germany. It's like the same person was in power for a long time, and basically,
Merkel?
yeah, Merkel, and anyone who was a threat to Merkel because they could be a future prime minister, she tried to drive out of the party. And so then, when it was time for her to go, there's
no successor waiting in the wings.
Yeah, and so the problem is you need to have, like, the Japanese had a concept where with the shogunate, where I think it was when you turned 35, you basically hand power over to your successor. And
that's like the opposite of the presidency, where you can't get power until you're 35.
But the thing is, you would stay on in like an advisory capacity.
Yeah, and that seems good.
Well, because the problem they were having was that, like, basically, you know, they were having a lot of their leadership murdered by their kids because they were like, I disagree with how you're running things. I'm not gonna wait my turn. Because I'm not gonna wait until you die of old age to take over, because our nation has problems now, and you're old and out of touch.
Right.
And so one of them was just like, you know what? My son's doing a pretty good job.
I don't want him to kill me.
I don't want him to. It's like, this kid would do a great job running the country, and I don't want him to murder me. What if I just say, you know what? You're in charge now. And I'll stay on if you have questions, but other than that, I'm basically retired.
Sure.
So I get to enjoy not being dead.
Yep.
And you get to have... Because the other thing was, too, it's like, okay, well, then the problem is if they run into something where it's like, okay, we're interacting with this group that we haven't interacted with for decades. Okay, does anybody remember what they... You know... Like, it's harder to maintain diplomatic ties.
Right.
Like...
It's nice to have that knowledge and experience.
Yeah. So, yeah, I think it's important for any political structure to have succession plans built into it.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like both parties in the United States, both major parties, have done a terrible job of encouraging people to get involved at a young age. Because it's just like, no, we'll just fill it with baby boomers and then never let Gen X have a turn. Bye.
Yep.
So... Dave USPS says, I think a good system doesn't need term limits, but in a bad system, term limits don't matter. In theory, Putin was term limited multiple times. It was a lot of extra work, though, for him and also for Xi Jinping to get around those term limits. And it might not discourage the most adamant person, but it'll discourage a lot of people.
And we're in like a good and bad system where term limits are actually observed.
Yeah. when
I
they,
mean, some people, have
Well,
an insurrection about it.
there was the case
But
with
that wasn't about the term limit.
there was the case with Governor Wallace's wife replacing him because he hit his term limit. Or was it governor or senator at the time? I think it was when he was a governor.
In Alabama.
Was it
George
Wallace or was
Wallace?
I think it was it in Georgia?
Oh,
Dang it,
okay.
there was some I should know this. There was some deep south governor or senator who hit their term limit and their wife took over their seat basically. And like the campaign trail was, my wife and I agree about everything if you like what I've been doing.
Okay.
But yeah,
But the wife was elected.
she was elected and she was a separate person.
Right.
But there was a thing where there was like some sort of major like disaster, and she runs into the office and screams at the chief of staff, "Where's the governor?" And he's like, "You are the governor." And she's like, "The real one."
Oh.
Like that. So she wasn't.
Yeah, that's bad.
So it wasn't like, oh, this is empowering her. She was a puppet. Hindalissa sounds like the last season of House of Cards. I didn't see the last season of House of Cards, but I mean, it was such a bonkers situation. I'd be shocked if people didn't make fictional
Hello, puppet.
versions of it later. No, this was not Hillary Clinton. This was directly after, like, this was like her husband's term. Like, he hit his term. Because with Hillary Clinton, she took, like, 20 years away from the White House, right?
Decades.
Before running again.
And she also had her own political career. It sounds like
this person was literally... No, she had no political career
no
before
political
this.
background.
She was just a puppet for her husband's political machine, basically.
Yes.
But yeah. Oh, boy. But yeah, the Democratic Party really did not demonstrate cultivating a lot of younger talent. It's like when it's like, okay,
I mean, the younger talent have shown up anyway. But
finally,
they don't
yeah.
they don't get a lot of support.
They're not getting help. Yeah, that's the thing. Is it's like
not at all.
Okay. I'm basically just covering this with snow as is, rather than like building out a shell from, because this cliff is pretty good.
It's a nice looking cliff.
We'll end up tweaking it some.
Sure.
But we're just once again trying to rough in something with the snow, and then once it's roughed in, we can tweak it and make it better. But it's always easier to like do these things in passes, you know.
Yeah.
So like this snow pillar obviously looks really terrible, but we can come back then, tweak it, kind of give it a little bit more depth there.
Oh yeah. Snow pillar, no filler.
One thing that I've been thinking about is I think that people should be guaranteed certain days off.
Such as? Or would it depend on their work and their
Like
schedule? And
basically when you sign an employment contract,
everything? Yeah.
the employer gives you 2 days that you don't have to work that are contiguous. And if you get called in on one of those days, they pay you double time. Because, you know, like this is one of the things that people talk about, like the best reason to work at Chick-fil-A is because it's one of the only fast food restaurants you can work at where you know, if you have kids, because you know that you've always got Sunday free. You can tell your parents, like, hey, we're definitely coming Sunday, March 5th, months out. Yeah, whereas any other fast food or restaurant work, you don't know if you're working Sunday until like possibly the day of or the week before. And like when places are like, yeah, everything's open on Sunday now, it's way better than it used to be. It's like, it's way better if you're a consumer, but I feel really bad for people who really need that job and have families.
Right.
And I've been thinking about like, how do you fix that? How do you, And I was like, I was thinking like, well, maybe every business should be required to be closed 2 days in a row. And the business owner can pick which 2 days it is.
Sure.
So if you're a restaurateur, maybe you say, we're going to be closed
Monday and Tuesday, a lot of them do
Yeah.
that.
Yeah. But like that way people, because like the uncertainty of never knowing if you can actually go do stuff with your family or your friends is like one of the things that was really hard about some of the jobs I had, even though they were technically Monday through Friday jobs. If something went wrong with a server somewhere, I was kind of always on call, even though I wasn't technically on call.
Yeah, and you weren't getting paid any extra, right?
No, because I was salary. And like I really like that had huge health impact on me not being able to ever unplug.
Joe Hill's Unplugged. Only happens in London.
Mahi Zero says, I mostly agree with that except for the contiguous. Having us work a split week before it can be really good for some people. Maybe. I mean, I don't know. Like I said, this is just me brainstorming. This is not... I haven't really developed this. This is me thinking something through.
Right. Maybe you can opt in for a certain thing. I don't know.
Yeah. Back at Matt says, yeah, I used to wait tables at a place that always closed Monday and Tuesday, and it was much better than random schedules. Somebody says this needs a classic Joe Hill's time skip as the snow gets placed. This is the time skip. You are witnessing. This is what happens when I yell time skip. I talk about random ideas I have for societal change.
You are live inside of the time skip.
Yeah, welcome to the time skip. We got loads of snow.
Welcome to the time skip. We are Quinn and Joe.
Badger says it should be a personal choice, not forced. Well, but that's what I'm saying though, is like employment. You would pick the days on the employment contract would be better than just like people saying, hey, because we love Jesus, we're always closed. Every business has to be closed on Sunday.
Because there are people who do want to work like every day of the week.
Well, the other thing is
they're paid hourly and they're like, I just need to make money right now. Blah blah blah.
Well, there's other situations though, like where like. But the thing is that increases the number of accidents.
For sure.
So, like, from a health and safety standpoint, you really don't want somebody working 7 days a week continuously forever.
Well,
especially...
that's also why I'm wary of, like, people at hospitals who are like, I work 3 12-hour shifts.
Oh, no, that's really broken. They should not be
horrible.
doing that.
Yeah.
But, like, I'm saying, like, let if to make this work right, it has to be that the person decides which days are good for them, because
put the power in the hands of the worker.
Because some people are gonna have Saturday or Friday as their holy day or a different thing, right?
True.
And so like, you know, I'm not saying like, oh, we should go back to having like, oh, you have to be closed on Sunday, because if you run a business and Sunday isn't your Sabbath, but you want your Sabbath off, that's fine.
Sure.
People. I feel like we need to reclaim the concept of pushing back against working all the time. And I say this as somebody who like basically works all the time.
But you wouldn't if you didn't have to.
I only work all the time because I'm slowly burning through my savings and I don't want to go back to making websites.
Right.
And because the less I work, the more quickly I burn through my savings. And the more scared I get.
Like, there are other people on this server who like take more vacations. And
absolutely.
Do that if
and
you
they're constantly telling me, Joe, you should just go to the Alps for a weekend. It's really good.
And you're like, I don't have that Alps money.
I can't go to East Tennessee for the weekend. Okay. But yeah. Where did I leave the snowmaking machine? The more the landscape gets homogenized, the harder it is to find stuff. Oh, here it is. Oh, actually, wait, we're out of snow at this point because we're out of shovels. Are we out of snow? No, I made some the other day. Awesome.
Oh, it's a snow machine. My bro's got a little machine.
So Dave USPS says in the a lot of the postal service you pick your day off. That's cool.
Oh.
So I guess you always have off Sunday if you're doing delivery, but then you also pick which other one day. Yeah.
The USPS and the username makes more sense now.
Yeah. It's like, wow, that guy really likes postscripts and America.
Not too many folks writing PS on things anymore these days. Every text message after the first is a postscript.
Yeah, Badger points out that USPS is literally unionized. Yeah. Obviously, unions are a good way to fight for laws like this.
Yeah, I've been following a little bit of the Starbucks stuff.
Yeah, I've like read a little bit about it to some degree because I don't follow it too closely because I don't believe in Starbucks. Like.
Oh, I'm only following it because I don't believe in Starbucks.
Yeah, like I like local coffee shops, and I hope that they unionize as often as possible too. But like,
Yes.
yeah, like in general, like I'm not making purchasing decisions based on how Starbucks handles this case. I'm just generally avoiding Starbucks anyway.
Sure.
Like especially now that we've got like a bongo at the airport,
Right.
you know, it's like. Oh dang it! It's getting dark.
And I haven't drunk coffee in like 5 years, so that's my boycott.
That helps. Yeah. I like non-burned coffee too, Badger. Yeah, that's one of the big things. At Starbucks is also all dark roast, which is like not what I'm looking for. I need more caffeine. Give me that light roast.
I thought they have a light roast once in a while, but
Well, see, that's the thing is I don't go there, so I don't really.
yeah, it's
irrelevant. Excuse my ignorance about something that I don't give money to. Okay.
Yeah.
So we're gonna put a marker there because unfortunately we have to repair our stuff at this point.
Put a marker there.
Yeah, Bongo's a coffee shop in Nashville. They're the ones that fought the anti-trans bathroom labeling bill in court and won.
Thank you, Bongo.
Thank you, Bob Bernstein of Bongo Java for that. Oh man, we are getting some frame rate drop here.
Frame drop.
Because I've never been in the Nether before since I installed the Bobby mod that caches all the chunks, and I think it's like kind of going nuts.
Never been in the Nether.
Now it's catching up. Okay.
But it's catching up right now.
Wow, that is a huge difference in quality. Do totems glow?
You're asking the wrong person.
Yeah, they do not. Oh, there's the portal. I'm like, where's the portal? Yeah, Bongo does have a board game cafe at Bongo East now, which is awesome. And they've got a board game shop. Oh no! Oh, I left all my rockets back at my place. Boo. That's a hassle. Brr. Whatever. Let's go fix my stuff.
Okay.
Wait, we need to go to music and sounds. Hostile creatures off because we're about to kill a bunch of monsters.
Okay. While we're here, where are we rotationally?
We are at 72 degrees angular. If you are enjoying the show, if you're enjoying Quinn and I talking, hanging out, a little bit of music, tips are welcome via paypal.me/JoeHills and YouTube Super Chat. If we hit our target of a 360 degree angular rotation, we're going to perform tub thumping If not, Tub Thumping is going out of the rotation forever because we know it's not a song that people want to hear.
People don't want to hear it. It's out.
It's out. No,
So if you do want to hear it,
this is your chance.
You gotta make it happen.
Okay, let's get some stuff fixed. Can we go back to Bongo next time we visit SNJ? I don't know, NJ. Maybe if you're good. You gonna be good?
You're gonna be good, NJ.
This place is not very well lit.
No, not at all. Is there anything you can do about that?
Yeah, I can turn the brightness up.
Okay.
Fine.
Alright. Still doesn't... still pretty dark.
Well, I mean, this is... yeah.
Better. It's an improvement. What's the wind chimey sound?
That's the experience repairing the armor and stuff.
Oh.
Which is always nice. Just giving that a minute.
Kind of pleasant.
Yeah. Oh, now I gotta hit some guys with swords again.
I gotta hit some guys with swords again.
I got swords in guys' faces. Gonna strike at them in interdimensional places. I got swords. NJ does not promise to be good.
Interdimensional places.
Dun, 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 dun.
I guess that's fair. Like, if NJ's here on vacation, why should she have to behave?
Well, I mean, you know, I always tell my daughter, it's a vacation for me too if you behave. If it's not, it's not. If you don't, it's not. So, I don't think I've actually ever said that directly, but now I wish I had, because that sounds like good parenting.
Well, like, this is, you know, NJ comes here, this is her chance to do all the things she can't do.
Yeah.
In New Jersey.
But
like,
she's specifically asking me to take her. I'm like, she can go on her own, but if she wants me to take time out of my day, okay, well.
NJ, I'll take time out of my day. Joe's not allowed.
No. My days, yeah. You've seen my calendar.
Yes, I have.
Well, I was talking to NJ, who's literally managing it.
Well, yeah.
Okay. So we need to go and get more rockets.
Rockets?
Rockets.
Never seen the Rockets.
I haven't either. Oh, did you see they announced the T-Pack Broadway lineup? Beetlejuice is in there in March.
I've heard that's not very good.
I don't know. I also don't know. I haven't checked if it lines up with Corinne's spring break, but I don't know if I want to be in town for that. Because, like, that's a rare opportunity for me to travel.
True. Candolas asks, Quinn, have you been practicing walking on stream? I did walk through the stream earlier.
Yeah, to
fetch a non-specific cola for my brother.
Non-specific cola is appreciated.
Non-specific cola. I'm a rock and roller.
Emily enjoyed the Beetlejuice show on Broadway.
Oh,
okay.
Okay. Well,
Oh, that's one vote.
I've only like heard things, you know. I haven't seen it myself. That's often the way to really know if you like something is to experience it yourself.
Yeah, like I said, my bigger concern is I don't know if I'm going to be in town that week, or I don't know if I would be in town that week otherwise, and I don't want to.
Yeah.
I don't want to commit to, like, oh, I bought these expensive tickets, which also I don't have money to buy the tickets.
But where would you go, Joe?
Well, I mean, maybe to London or to Canada or like, because I don't really have a lot of opportunities to travel.
Yeah.
Other than the summer, but this summer I'm still gonna be broke from going to England in the spring, so it's like I've got like 6 weeks where I could travel if I could afford it, but I won't. Probably.
Or we know people in Colorado. That could be fun.
Yeah, but once again, I gotta be able to afford to go to Colorado. Because, like, that's airfare and not working.
Yeah. It's the not working that'll get you.
It's the not working, because it's, a lot of lost revenue.
not working is not working for you.
No. I already took too much time off. Well, not too much, but I took the appropriate amount of time off to go to London, but that means, like, yeah, I really can't afford to take more time off in June so soon.
I wasted time, and now doth time waste me.
Where are the rockets? Oh boy. I've only got 3 rockets left, so I really... Is it in that red box? I don't think it is.
Yeah, I think you need more rockets.
Yeah, I know. I'm looking at...
Are they naturally occurring somewhere?
No.
That's too
You gotta...
bad.
Yeah.
I like organic rockets myself.
Okay, this is not optimal.
But what is?
Yeah, if they're not up here, then I'm really in trouble.
Uh-oh.
Like...
Well, what do you need them for?
To fly.
Oh.
Yeah.
I thought elytra is the flying thing.
The elytra enables you... It's like wings let you fly, but fuel generates forward momentum.
You need a combo. Uh-huh.
We have an entire Rocky Horror Picture Show parade coming up. Do we?
Who's we? Nashvilleans?
Is there a Rocky Horror Picture Show parade in the server? I don't remember seeing that in the queue. Where would I have maybe
you never
put
seen
the
that
rockets
film, Joe?
away? Maybe they're in my house.
Mm.
No, I haven't, because like I was always like planning to go see it at the Belcourt on Halloween, but then it like never worked with my schedule.
Yeah.
All
right, we'll watch that in Lawrence of Arabia.
Okay.
This summer.
Let's go check my house. If there's not rockets there, I can at least get diamonds and walk to the rocket shop.
Rocket shop. Think it's gonna be a long, long time.
Neely Stone says staycation is where it's at sometimes. Well, it's not really a staycation if the reason I'm not going is I can't afford to skip work. Because it's...
Yeah.
A staycation is when you skip work but stay home. I would still be working.
Yeah.
I
think your ideal would be a baycation. A vacation you spend with your bay.
Sorry. Yeah, we don't have a date yet for the Earth Day Parade. I was supposed to plan that stuff with NJ on Monday night, and I was not in a good headspace to...
I don't think hardly any of us were.
Yeah, so we have not set the dates yet.
Presumably around Earth Day.
Yeah, well, the problem is, like... Dang it. Okay, wait, this might be the last of the rockets anyway. Okay, so I gotta go buy more regardless. That's why I didn't bother putting it back, it looks like, because it was basically
Who's
empty.
the proprietor of the rocket store?
Given. So let's see, how many diamonds do I have? 21. Okay, that's enough, I think, to buy
21 diamonds.
another box of rockets. Well, I should probably sort this out before the next newsletter goes out. I'll look at the calendar myself. It's fine. Oh, yeah, this week has just been kind of a train wreck in general. Like,
sure has.
So. I don't want to get lost in Impulse's store. If Impulse wanted people to use his store, it wouldn't be so confusing and large.
What is
bulk
it?
rockets 11. Wait, it says 11 diamonds for bulk rockets, so
Uh-huh.
not 15. Huh, okay.
Oh, sale.
I'm pretty sure I overpaid. I think those are my 15 from last time.
You left a tip.
Yeah.
It's a nice thing to do.
Yeah, apparently. Okay. All those warden heads are so cute, are things that only people say on this HermitCraft server. At this point, I think Joe is rightfully ignoring us for the pizza. The pizza conversation has nothing to do with anything we were talking.
What pizza conversation?
Oh, sometimes the chat talks among themselves. I'm not like ignoring them. I'm just not butting into their conversation. Like, you guys are having your own conversation. You don't need me to comment on it. And I'm barely gonna miss that.
You want us to have a piece of that conversation, eh?
Sure.
Sure.
NJ, I don't know what my schedule looks like tonight yet. I don't know what anything looks like right now. I'm not gonna commit to anything at the moment.
No commitments to anything right now.
Yeah, this 32 render distance though does look nice.
32 is beautiful to you. What was your render distance before?
Like 16.
But what changed? You still have the same graphics card.
No, it's a new, it's a mod for the game. The version for the old, a new version of Minecraft came out, and previously this mod had such massive performance impacts that it was basically unusable.
Oh, it was mostly like that nether section we went through?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's bad.
It was like that kind of all the time, so I was like, I can't use this when I'm making videos. But now they've made a ton of improvements.
Yay.
Oh, this is already looking way better.
Oh, that looks great, yeah.
And we're not even getting that wild with us. You know what? Let's maybe, I think maybe I'll go get some ice to put where that is. How about a vacation with horses? No, I think I'm good.
Hey!
Horses are expensive. Blue ice.
Then you have to have a horse house
Yeah.
for the horse to live in.
Yeah, dang it, I should have brought the extra shovels with me too. I was in a hurry. Boo. Okay. Didn't plan any part of this well. People are saying Hades Town is good. King of Kings says, I've seen it twice and would gladly go again.
Hades Town, I have heard, is really good, yeah.
Is that a
that coming to
Broadway
T-Pack?
show?
Yeah,
I
it
don't
is
know
a
if it's
Broadway
coming
show.
to T-Pack.
Let me pull up the schedule, and we can discuss.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. It is not coming here.
Okay.
Oh, and I think some of these have already happened. Broadway. Hey. In May, Disney's Aladdin and Into the Woods. Into the Woods, I would see.
I saw the film version of it. Catherine insisted we watch it. I wasn't impressed, but...
Well, yeah, that was the film.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I guess what I'm saying is, like, if the film is supposed to encourage people to go see it on... I don't know.
1776, the musical, in June.
Heard of that. I'm assuming it takes place in Italy.
Correct. A lot of big things happening that year in Italy.
Huge year for Italy.
October, Wicked.
I've seen that already.
Same. November, Mrs. Doubtfire.
I'm curious about that, but like,
That's
see,
a musical.
yeah, a lot of these are like I would go if I could afford it, but
Yeah, and I don't know if they'll be able to do that musical if it's illegal to be in drag in a public place.
Does the show have prurient interest? I think is what they're leaning on.
Oh, okay. Does anyone?
Arguably, a lot of people.
And then January.
That's how you get more people.
Funny Girl. And the Cher Show, a new musical. And
is that kind of the equivalent of Moving Out? Is it like a bunch of Cher music with
I don't know.
something tying it together?
Girl from the North Country is a Bob Dylan musical. that's tying things together.
Mhm.
Then also in February, the Tina Turner musical.
Okay.
Beetlejuice in March. Annie also in March. Then Frozen the musical in May. And Hairspray in June.
Yeah.
And I think that's it. That's the season.
I would see college productions of a lot of those, but I just the cost for going downtown to TPAC, I don't think I'm going to be able to justify most of those.
Well, yeah, going downtown is the cheap part. The
Well, no,
ticket at the show.
no,
is
that's
the
what I
expensive.
mean is the TPAC rates for tickets are expensive. I don't.
That they are cheaper than the real Broadway.
Which
but
I also
still.
can't afford, and I'm not going. Like,
Unless you go to TKTS. Get those last minute discount tickets.
gotcha.
But they don't do that here.
No.
No. There's a lot of things they don't do here.
Okay, we're gonna make a little pool around that.
What time do we need to wrap up around to give people a sense of how much longer they have to help us rotate?
Well, if we were gonna head to lunch at around 11, what time is it now? 10:30. So, yeah. I mean, if we're close, we can go a little later. But I mean,
Sure.
if we're not even close, I haven't eaten.
Yeah,
so.
we're at 72.
Yeah, we're at 72. So tub thumping was a poor choice on our part. We get it. We'll do better next time. Okay.
We get it.
If you,
Quinn needs to write more original songs.
yep, that was a winner. Okay. So this is having this blend into here is where this gets challenging.
Oh, I see. Yeah.
So I need to have the shell here
Mm-hmm.
kind of blend this way a bit.
NJ says the song you wrote for me is pretty fantastic, not gonna lie. I'm guessing that's addressed to me and not Joe.
I didn't write NJ a song. Sorry, NJ.
Well, didn't you? Well, yeah.
Didn't
I
I?
guess we co-wrote that one that was like, NJ is streaming right now.
Yeah, I helped
Didn't
with
we do
that.
that for a
Yeah,
lot of
I helped
people?
with that one. Yeah.
Yeah, that one's pretty good too.
But I didn't write like a new song for NJ just now or anything.
I figured NJ.
Okay,
Yeah, I figured.
so we put the packed ice in here.
Gotta pack that ice.
Mm-hmm.
Ice, ice, baby.
Am I going to the D&D movie? No. Also, it's in a movie theater, so it costs a lot of money.
He'll catch it on iTunes.
Yeah.
If he does catch
no,
it at all.
I'm not gonna buy it on iTunes. I'll watch it if it goes on Hulu or Netflix when I have them at some point, or HBO.
Right.
But like, I mean, I really liked the guy from Into the Spider-Verse. Is in it? Chris Pine was a good in Into the Spider-Verse, but I mean, no, I don't really. Well, then again, that's the only person on the cast whose name that I actually saw.
Yeah.
It's not like he's the only recognizable person. I heard somebody mention he's in it. I'm like, oh, I've heard that name before. I don't know who else is in it. I don't, but like,
You're like, oh yeah, he was Spider-Man for like 5 minutes.
I mean, I'm kind of just like, honestly, like the D&D people burned a lot of goodwill with that open gaming license thing. I'm just,
Right.
and so like when I look at like where do I want to spend my incredibly limited resources right now, people who have recently screwed up aren't going to the top of the list. And it's like, well, Joe, that might discourage them from making future D&D movies. I'm like, will it? The last D&D movie did terrible, and they still made this one. So, like,
That's true.
they've proven that they're not depending on this revenue to finance future projects. Also, chances are it's a film. It's gonna be unprofitable no matter what, right? Why should I bother?
That's the Hollywood accounting.
Yeah.
There was a great Twitter thread from Ed Solomon who wrote Men in Black and
Oh, I like
Bill
Men in
and
Black.
Ted, and,
Oh, I like Bill and Ted.
and he was talking about how the studio behind Men in Black, which I think is Sony Pictures,
Yeah, definitely.
still says like it's not profitable at all, and so he hasn't been like paid what he should be paid,
Yeah.
even though it's like it's not profitable, but you've made 4 sequels at this point, right?
Yeah. That seems
It's
like...
not profitable, so we're just gonna keep dumping more money into it.
Well, I mean,
Sure.
the last D&D movie definitely lost money, and they still made this one, so I don't
Yeah,
know.
but they waited like 20 years.
Yeah.
Hey, you got some new messages.
Yeah, well, I was waiting until you were done with your sentence, because that's polite. But yeah, we got a tip from Mr. Hardluck, who says, can't quite get you to 90, but at least we're at a multiple of 10. Mr. Hardluck tipping 8. That's going to bring us around now to 80 degrees angular. Do-do-do-do. Thank you, Mr. Hardluck. So let's go land here and find a bed.
Let our heads down and dream.
Lay our heads down and dream. So then, let's see what else we got here. Trisha tips 10, says for being awesome. Thank you, Trisha.
Oh, thanks, Trisha.
And then Denise tips 50 and says dough for a show. Woo.
Dough for a show.
That's gonna bring us up to 140. Let's go ahead and rotate that camera. Wait, is that 140? 50 plus 10. Yeah, because we were at 80. 140.
Yeah,
Let's rotate. That's almost upside down now. Wizards of the Coast is working to reestablish trust with the community. I'm going to let them do that work, and I'll see where it goes, but I'm not...
But also, they shouldn't have a monopoly.
I'm not going to rush. Of course Hasbro has a monopoly. Oh, wait, or is that Parker Brothers? Does Hasbro own Parker Brothers?
Probably.
I can't tell which part of the joke is accurate. It's going to drive me bonkers. Okay. Okay, here we go. I was expecting the beads to fall. I forgot Joe wasn't actually sideways. You don't know that. I wouldn't mind building a giant rig, like a Stargate thing that I'm suspended in
be really
that
cool.
rotates me.
Like,
Like-
it will have to be large enough to rotate me when I'm here.
Yeah, we have to have like a roller coaster straps type thing, and that might get in the way of your guitar playing, though, right? That might be a concern.
No, I'll make it work.
Okay. Well, as long
I
as
suppose it would be easier to simply have a rig to rotate the monitor, but that's not as fun.
what? No, because it's funnier if we can do stuff because we're upside down.
That's what I
Like,
That's what I'm saying. We're purposefully not doing the easier thing. Well, I guess the easier thing is to do what you're doing now, but
No, but what I'm saying is it would be cool if, like, you know, I was wearing a tie and it was like like I had to like tuck it in my glasses and it's like falling that
right,
way.
exactly. Now it sounds like an OK Go music video,
Yeah.
which is kind of ideal.
Yeah, OK Go music video vibes are really my ideal for how the stream goes.
You could do this stream on a treadmill.
Dave USPS says the existence of an open license agreement at all is more than what most companies offer. Yeah, no, I agree with you, but the thing is Hasbro basically threatened to pull the rug out of everybody who built a business on that open license.
Mm-hmm.
And as somebody who like wrote an open gaming licensed game, but fortunately wasn't dependent on it for my livelihood, I was
Right.
looking at like the whole reason you like my friends and I spent like 7 years working on a book that we open gaming licensed. And it was a lot of work, and the idea that Hasbro is going to come in and try and declare that's not valid anymore is terrifying, because putting in that much work and then having somebody be like, yeah, but you can't distribute it now unless you pay us. It's like, well, look, tell us up front if you want money. but
Yeah.
don't rug pull the existing licensors, like
Right.
or licensees. I don't know.
And what were the elements proprietary to Wizards of the Coast that you needed to license out?
Well,
Like,
basically,
can you not have any tabletop game that isn't indebted to them in some way?
no,
financially?
you can, but like for example, we didn't have to create our own rules for grappling because we're
Okay.
like
We'll just use their.
we're using
right.
their rules for grappling.
Yeah, and people know their pre-existing rules, so
Yeah.
yeah, it's a shorthand.
But like further than that, we, as part of the open gaming license, we could say, you know, our rules for grappling are unchanged from open gaming license 3.5. For
Right.
your convenience, we provided those here.
Right.
Like we could actually include the text of their grappling rules.
Yeah.
But like, yeah, because our game was all about like, it was basically designed to optimize like comedy storytelling. And so we were focused on like how to create funny characters and funny scenarios. We're like, we're not gonna rewrite grappling.
Right.
We're like the use rope rules for climbing a rope. We're like, we don't really need to. Dave USPS says, I thought the product had to make $75,000 or $750,000 before you paid royalties, and also yeah. But see, the thing is that creates a burden on us to keep accounting practices to prove we haven't made $750,000. What I'm saying is, if you have a license like this, if you have an open license and then you pull the rug back and you're like, now there's new extra rules, like 10 years later,
Yeah, it's no longer an open license.
it's not a good practice. Like, this is like what you're describing is okay if that's if you establish that from the beginning, but this was. They were they were threatening to retroactively change the existing license in a way that was questionably legal, but like who wants to spend the effort to fight it in court? They created a bunch of headaches for people that didn't need headaches, and have basically it's like I'm gonna have a hard time trusting them again. They put a lot of effort into burning a lot of good faith very quickly.
Yeah, they
and
tried
they're gonna
to fix something that isn't broken just to make money.
So I'm hoping that things get demonstrably better. But in the meantime, when I already can't afford to go to the movies, or if I can only afford to go to one here or there, I'm going to pick one that's not from the people that recently pissed me off. Like, you know,
That's fair.
I feel like, you know, if you have extremely limited resources, just cut out half the options, okay? Who's really stressed me out lately? I'm not giving them my money. That's... Yeah, bait and switch tactics are not okay. Well, the thing is, though, bait and switch as a tactic is where you're intentionally baiting it and then switching it. Like, I think this is just somebody... Like, I don't think when they set this up, they planned to bait and switch.
No.
But that's what makes
They
it...
just tried to switch.
But that's what made it so jarring and unexpected and why everybody was scrambling. It was too much.
Yeah.
If you can only afford one movie this year, it's Dune Part 2. I'm not going to see that in theaters.
If you can only afford one film this year.
Yeah. I mean, I'll probably see some stuff at the Belcourt, realistically, because, like, they always have, like, weird stuff that I don't know if I'll be able to find somewhere else.
Yeah.
If you were like, Joe, if you don't see the D&D movie in theaters, what's your strategy for seeing it later? I'm like, well, it'll be on iTunes and maybe HBO or Netflix or Hulu. It'll be somewhere. I know that movie will be available.
It will exist.
But, like, at the Belcourt, you go in and they're like, here's this weird movie from Israel.
Right.
about these soldiers shooting a bunch of dogs in Palestine, so the dogs didn't alert people of this incoming strike,
Right.
and then like the psychological trauma that caused them, and like this movie might be illegal soon.
Yeah. It's
like-
oh, this will never be on iTunes.
Like, yeah.
And it will never be released on Blu-ray, and this is your chance to see it.
Yeah. Like there's
Well, and I have a membership there, so.
yeah. Mahi Zero says if you only see one movie in theaters this year, Spider-Verse. Is that coming out this year?
It is. It's coming out pretty soon. In a couple months.
Oh, okay.
I want to see that one for sure.
That one might be worth seeing because I like that they gambled on some experimental stuff art-wise in the first one.
Yeah.
Dave USPS says, I'm certain Matt Mercer would be willing to pay royalties if he had to because it would be worth it. Once again, I'm not arguing that it's a bad deal for certain people to take a royalty situation. Like, I'd be willing to pay royalties to have rights to use certain things. Like, hey, when we do our covers on albums, we pay royalties for that. It's worth it.
Every time you stream it or buy it, we're paying
royalties on those songs.
Exactly.
But what I'm saying is, for somebody to say you can use this stuff royalty-free, and then saying all of a sudden, actually, we need you to keep track of how much money you make because you might owe us money, and we are going to need proof that you earned less than a certain amount or whatever.
Yeah. What
or
if
we're
you've
gonna-
been using the
like-
license for 20 years? You don't have all that.
Yeah, like retroactively changing a license. That's what I'm saying. The rug pull is why they didn't lose my trust for saying we deserve to be compensated for work. I believe work should be compensated. But if somebody says we've structured our business so we can allow certain things to be free, and now we're going to retroactively create problems for people who built their businesses on believing us. People who penalize you for trusting them shouldn't be trusted again right away. That's my concern.
If ever.
If ever. Yeah.
Yeah. Usually never for me.
Badger says, I thought it was bad enough being dragged to see the new Guardians when it comes out. I'm not going to see that probably in theaters. I'm not going to go see... Well, the Mario movie I'm on the fence about. Because one of my friends is insisting we all have to see it like opening night at midnight. And I'm like, no. I have a kid and we're not taking her to that.
I mean, there hasn't been a Mario movie in 30 years.
Yeah. So... But I'm like, so the thing is, if they come back and they're like, it barely has Chris Pratt in it. It's mostly Charlie Day being hilarious.
Well, and I saw that Charlie Day is already trying to pitch a Luigi's Mansion movie, which
I would
not
watch.
have Chris Pratt in it,
No,
so-
yeah, see, that's the thing is I really like Charlie Day, and I really don't like Chris Pratt at this point. So
Same.
it's like, I'm going to wait and hear how much Chris Pratt is in this movie, and then I'm going to make an informed decision about whether or not to watch it on streaming later. I'm pretty unlikely to watch it in theaters, unless there's something about it that I don't know. But I'm not ruling... The D&D movie I'm not going to see in theaters. I've not
There's something
doing
about Mario.
that. But yeah, at this point... I don't have the resources to go to the movies in general.
I think you mean resources.
Resources, whatever. Here's what I'm hoping. I'm hoping that somebody does a dub of the Mario movie, and I'm not going to do this because, for one thing, I'll get in trouble legally, and for another thing, it's a lot of work. I'm going to hold out. There's a lot of voice work that Danny DeVito's done over the years.
Yeah.
For Always Sunny in Philadelphia. I think you could probably take Danny DeVito lines from Always Sunny in Philadelphia and put them over Chris Pratt's lines in a Mario movie edit.
I think it's doable.
I
would want the same thing for Detective Pikachu.
I did see Detective Pikachu. I took my daughter to see that, and she was upset.
Upset.
Oh yeah. She's
Because
like,
it's a
you
movie.
know, I don't like movies and plays about where people's parents aren't there for them. And I'm like, I didn't know what this was about. Because I don't read film synopses. I
Yeah,
just
it's
saw
called
like
Detective Pikachu.
It's called
It's not
Detective
called-
Pikachu. It's not called The Dad's Dead. Be upset now. And we went and saw
Well,
this
and also that was the point, is the dad was with him
the whole time. Yeah, but like whatever. So
Spoilers.
yeah. So somebody says you still have to look at Chris Pratt's face though. I feel like in a thing where they edit Danny DeVito's voice into the movie, they don't necessarily put a Chris Pratt face mask on Mario
Well,
the
also,
whole
this
time.
is a CGI Mario movie. I don't
So-
think Chris Pratt's face is in there at all. Maybe they thought you were talking about in Guardians. He needs to be dubbed over.
There was a Ryan Reynolds leak of Detective Pikachu on his YouTube channel. What? Well, no, Ryan Reynolds is the one that
Is
voices
Detective
Detective Pikachu. So I don't think
Yeah, Chris Pratt is part of the Hillsong congregation, which is just like a very homophobic church, and yeah, he's kind of like doubled down on being supportive of those terrible causes. Lana Del Rey is also a member. Justin Bieber as well.
Yeah, I'm not going to a Bieber show anytime soon.
Me neither. Badger's correct. He's awful in many ways.
I don't know. Yeah, there was a whole thing where it's like he refused to get vaccinated, and so he had his agent scoop up every voice acting gig in Hollywood so he could, make his child support payments, but then put a bunch of talented voice actors, in a situation where they couldn't get work.
Exactly. Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know if the child support was actually an element. That's pretty common in Hollywood, but I realize I'm speaking out of turn there. Wait, what?
He is divorced and
Yeah, was the thing
has
though?
children,
Was the
so-
thing that the first wife couldn't have kids, or that he was mad that the only kids she could have were like disabled somehow? It was something. There was something with like the reason that they got divorced, and he was bragging about how his new wife could give him what she couldn't in terms of that sort of thing, and like that was like really,
that is disgusting.
yeah. So I was kind of like, because like I mean I've been in a divorce and they don't necessarily go well, but like that's kind of not a cool thing to,
Yeah.
Ryan Reynolds released a 2-hour-long leak of Pikachu dancing. Okay. Oh. But yeah, I'm kind of annoyed that they didn't just have Charles Martinet do it, or whatever. It's fine. I'll probably eventually see the movie. Like I said, hopefully an edited version of it.
Yeah. Or Charlie Day could have played Mario.
I think he actually would have been a good Mario. Like I like him. Luigi's a good choice though too for him.
Sure.
I mean, if you had
Maybe
like,
Max should have
I was gonna
Mario.
say the guy who played Dennis being Mario.
Oh, Dennis, yeah.
He would have been a funny Mario.
Yeah, like
He was
like
actually
a condescending Mario.
he was actually supposed to play Star-Lord.
He would have been really good.
Because the Star-Lord
That would
character,
have been like his breakout role.
the Star-Lord character in the comics is way more of a jerk, a lot more like Dennis. But with Chris, the Chris Pratt Star-Lord still kind of a self-indulgent jerk, but like not
At least in
not
the
as
first film, yeah.
yeah, not as much in the comics, or not as much as in the comics.
Right.
Like they toned him down because they're like, oh, Chris Pratt's too lovable to be this much of a jerk.
Turns out he is that much of
Yeah,
a jerk.
'cause that's
and
the-
more.
Yeah, Star-Lord's not supposed to be a lovable jerk. He's supposed to be just a jerk. Yeah. Well, and that's so Dad and Cat says I'm misquoting the Chris Pratt comment. Well, that's the thing though, is I'm not like up on celebrity gossip, so maybe I shouldn't be talking about this stuff. But like, it's like, why aren't you seeing this movie? I heard some things about this guy that weren't very nice.
Yeah, and there's enough against him, even if you misinterpreted one comment.
Yeah.
That wasn't just the only thing.
I don't know. So, yeah, if I... see, this is why I don't like talking about stuff that I can't source properly.
Yeah.
Like, so, yeah, maybe I've screwed up here. Are there drive-in movie theaters in Nashville? No, they're way out of town, like Estill Springs.
Which we do go sometimes.
We do go sometimes, but
occasion.
like, oh man, I just got back from Mount Eagle. Like, and it's so beautiful out there. Like, man, I didn't realize how gorgeous the University of the South campus was for hiking.
Oh yeah, it's the largest campus in the U.S.
But like, I didn't realize how good their trail network and stuff was. Like,
yeah.
I would have maybe considered actually applying there if I had known.
Is that where you were camping?
Yeah, well, not on campus,
Around
but
there?
we went. Yeah, so one of Corinne's friends' parents bought a lot out there, and
Oh, wow.
they want to build a cabin one day, but right now they're just using it for camping.
Nice.
And so yeah, we went camping on this private land, and then but we went hiking. We had to drive several miles to the University of the South, though. So that was part of it too. Is it's like we drove to Mount Eagle.
Yeah.
And then we set up camp, and I'm like, okay, I'm ready to chill now. And it's like, okay, now we're going hiking. I'm like, okay, I like hiking. Okay, we're gonna get back in the car, drive to the trailhead.
Hiking. Yeah.
And I'm like, okay. And I'm like, okay, so but it's nearby. It's like, well, it's kind of nearby. It's 15, 20 minutes nearby. I'm like, yeah. So yeah, like I basically like, because I have to be careful how much I eat when I drive. It's like, so I'm spending the whole day like driving and not eating, and it's not ideal. But yeah, I mean, it was a really good camping trip. Corinne had a
Good.
great time. I lost a lot of sleep over it, and I'm still catching up on that, but it's fine. She had it was a weekend for her, not for me. And there were definitely a lot of parts of it I liked. The campsite was amazing. The people were great.
That always helps.
Yeah. Just the driving was really kind of like, and the rain.
Yes, it's a ways out.
Yeah. But I mean, like, so Into the Spider-Verse is one I would want to see at the drive-in if it's coming out this summer.
Yeah, I think it comes out in May.
Okay, well that's drive-in time. They might actually be reopened by now. Yeah, they're showing John Wick
Yeah.
and Scream,
Scream
Shazam,
6. Heard the new Scream is decent.
Magic Mike's Last Dance, and Cocaine Bear. That's not.
It's not bad.
Yeah, okay. I mean, none of those are movies that I feel compelled to go see. I'll probably watch John Wick on
Yeah.
video at some point
Vidya.
because I like Keanu Reeves a lot, but
Right.
I don't know, watching that much violence on like the big screen, like I don't know why, but like I'm just like more easily upset by it than I used to be. And it's easier, like it's on a tablet or something, and I can like, if I have it on a
Sure.
tablet while I'm cooking,
Yeah.
I'm like
It
not.
minimizes the violence.
Yeah, well, I don't know, but like, yeah, I saw one of the John Wick movies, and I was like, this is a really good movie, but I'm like just viscerally upset by the violence in a way that like I watch horror movies and I'm fine. I don't know. It was just that like all of it was so unnecessary. I was just like angry about how easily avoidable all of this violence was. Like, why are these people so dumb? But it's just like, I don't know. So I haven't seen John Wick 4.
Don't kill John Wick's dog.
Yeah, just don't do that.
Just don't do it. Right after the guy's wife died. Come on.
Yeah, so the drive-in at least is relatively affordable, but it's a whole. I'm committing to a big trip. Is the problem?
Well, we might be
We can stay with mom
going
and
down
dad.
around Huntsville around that time anyway.
Yeah,
Could
that's
be.
true. We might be driving past there.
Could be the way to do it.
Yeah. So yeah, the second payment for Corinne's summer thing went through, and I had to
Nice.
fill out her medical forms, and of course the medical form is incredibly long,
Yeah.
and it's a web page that times out.
Oh, I love that.
And it's like,
Wonderful.
and then when it times out, you lose everything. And
No.
there's a save your progress button, but it only works if you've filled out all the fields. If you hit save your progress, it's like you didn't answer
What's the point of saving your progress if you've already done everything?
Well, the validation code runs when you hit save your progress and goes, uh-oh, you didn't say when the tetanus shot was. And I was so mad.
Yeah.
And I'm like, so, like, yeah.
I would be too.
But that's done. I got it done. So you're welcome.
Yeah, you're welcome.
You're welcome, camp directors who really care deeply about the last date of a checkup.
Where are we at? 140?
Yeah, we're at 140. What time is it? Tips are welcome via PayPal.me/.
It's just 11 a.m. now.
Okay, well, let's see. We're theoretically close enough. We might hit 360. You want to see about going to 11:15?
Sure.
Okay. So, yeah, if we hit our goal of 360 for the stream, we are going to sing Tub Thumping by Chumbawamba.
Chimbawimba.
What are my thoughts on the Minecraft D&D team up? I don't know that they're doing that. Is that in... That sounds like a Bedrock thing. I only really do Java stuff.
Yeah.
So it's like, Joe, how do you feel about Sonic and Bedrock? And I'm like, the Hedgehog or Speed of Sound Sonic from One Punch Man?
Or the restaurant.
Because, like, yeah, or the drive-in.
The drive-in restaurant.
Drive-in restaurant is in
They
Bedrock
occasionally
now.
still operate on roller skates, but not so much
Not so
anymore.
much, no.
No.
It's a shame.
It's a bit of a hazard.
But yeah, I don't really have strong opinions about Bedrock DLC because it's not for me, you know. If they're just like,
Yeah, it's not
Joe,
for
did you
me.
see there's a new Captain Underpants book? Okay, kids like those. That's fine. That's good for them. But like, I don't know why I would know or have an opinion about it.
That's fair.
But like, if you're like, okay, actually, here's the interesting thought experiment. What could they add to Minecraft Bedrock as a DLC to make me actually care enough about it to like download Bedrock, make a video, pay for the DLC? As I'm describing this process, like I'm just like slowly like dying inside. I'm like, I don't have time for any of this. Like, I'm like, no, this is not gonna happen. I'm like, what do I actually like, you know? Because for example, I really like One Punch Man.
If they did a One Punch Man,
but if they made a
DLC,
One Punch Man DLC, I wouldn't buy it.
No.
Like they did One Punch Man Overwatch DLC, and I'm still not gonna play Overwatch, right?
Yeah, right.
I'm like, what do
They've done everything in Fortnite.
I like Star Trek a lot. Yeah, I haven't played Fortnite. Like,
If they did a lower decks thing in Bedrock, would you play it?
no.
See?
I really like Lower Decks. I mean, I really like Pinball, but like Pinball FX3, which is what we play for our Steam tournaments, has a successor, a sequel game called Pinball FX instead of Pinball FX4. They're just going back to Pinball FX.
Nice.
And it's only available on the Epic Games Store. And you know what I refuse to download?
The Epic Games.
The Epic Games Store. And I love Pinball. And I really like the software that this company makes. But I'm just like, they're paying you for this exclusive so you don't need my money right now. That's why they paid you, because they knew if you put your game out on only the Epic Game Store, a lot of people who would otherwise buy it would refuse to buy it. Hi, it's me. I'm the problem. It's me. They put Kelsier from Mistborn in Fortnite? Okay, that's stupid, but like, okay. That's
like
not gonna
I said,
make me get
everything
Fortnite.
is in Fortnite. I have zero interest in ever playing Fortnite.
Yeah, like I cannot think of what I like enough that I would install Minecraft Bedrock.
Yes. Even if they were to put God himself.
Well, I mean, because, like, I'm trying to think of other stuff that's been added to games. Like, Dota has a voice pack from Rick and Morty that's I've seen a YouTube video of that's pretty funny, but I'm not going to play Dota.
Sure.
Right? Like,
And is it more entertaining than an episode of the TV show?
it's entertaining in a different way. But, I mean, that's what... If they added Pokemon... No, that wouldn't get me. I don't play Pixelmon as is. Like... If there was a HermitCraft... If we actually were, like, able to get organized enough to make, like, a HermitCraft skin pack or whatever for Bedrock...
Yeah.
I wouldn't play Bedrock. Especially because I'm not going to be allowed to license my skin because it's very similar to their Steve skin in that, like, I spray painted
Right.
on their skin. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, so it's like, that's not for me. I'm not the target audience for that.
Right. Yeah. Same reason why there's not a plushie of your Minecraft skin.
Yeah. What if they had ice cream in there? Well, because they actually created a Minecraft ice cream lately.
Oh, wow.
And I did not request any of that because ice cream makes me violently ill.
Yay!
Yay. So, no ice cream.
I don't know. I'm just kind of like a purist with things. Like, if I want a Pokemon experience, I'm just gonna play Pokemon.
Yeah.
You know? Like, that's the goods right there.
Yeah, I'm not going to buy cereal because it has Minecraft in it. Educational edition, I would be willing to play because there's certain, like, there are certain interesting things, like, about history education that I've been like, that could be interesting to address. I still haven't, like, done it, but...
Yeah.
I would be way more... But the other thing is the Education Edition DLC isn't paid. Like, so we're talking about two things here. We're talking about installing Bedrock, which is through the Windows installer or something stupid, I think.
Has Microsoft
Windows Store,
tried
Microsoft
to, like,
Store.
phase out Java? Or, like, I imagine as
Long
someone
term,
who
it would
runs
be great for them. But
yeah, I imagine as a company, it's, like, horrible to maintain two different versions of kind of essentially the same thing.
But I mean, Microsoft has done that for years with like they have a Mac version of Microsoft Office.
That's
type
true.
Of thing. Like,
yeah.
I mean, so.
Well, maybe it's a little different.
I mean,
because Bedrock will run on your PC as well, so it's not like an OS specific.
Well, the other thing is that they won't release Bedrock for Mac because it was originally called the Windows Edition, even though they have the same code base partially going into the Education Edition, which does run on Macs.
They still got that Mac versus PC thing going on.
Yeah. Beetlejuice plushie is even less likely. There's so one of the guys that was at the New Year's party. You were at New Year's this year, right?
I was.
Yeah, he works for Warner Brothers in like IP management, and definitely is side-eyeing me about this because apparently Warner Brothers owns Beetlejuice. So it's like, no, there's somebody who like knows who I am, who knows about that, who's just like.
Yeah, but you fall under parody law.
I fall under parody when I'm performing, but like in terms of merchandise,
sure,
the stuff like gets well, and this guy specifically works with like merchandise stuff,
right? Which you have been very cautious about
for that
for
reason.
a long time.
Yeah, but I'm like, oh, it's good to run into you, person who handles merchandise IP rights for Warner Brothers.
They're losing a lot of money every time you're Beetlejuice.
Yeah. Okay, so let me check to see if any tips rolled in. Doesn't look like it. Okay, how are we for time then?
11:08.
Okay, so 7 minutes. We're gonna do last call for tips. Tips are welcome via paypal.me/Joe Hills and YouTube Super Chat. If you enjoy the show, this helps justify Quinn driving across town.
Yeah, and we are hungry hillzos.
Yeah, so it would be nice to be able to get lunch. But, you know, worst case, I mean, I need to go to the grocery store anyway, so...
They have food there.
Yeah, they do have food there.
Nice.
So...
Making snowballs, making snow. You can't find it. No, no, no. You need a machine to make the snow.
Oh, no.
And somebody else has to make the machine for you.
It was Asuma, he made it.
Do you not like making machines? Or is there a complicated process that you don't want to learn?
I could have done this, but I was going away.
He was going away, going away. And he didn't want to do it.
I also didn't want to do
That's Joe Hills.
it. Yeah, I'm tired.
That's Joe. He's tired and he doesn't want to do things. That's Joe.
I think
That's Joe.
Okay, so we can start making some snowballs here. That was not as many as we've made previously, but time is a factor.
Time is a
I'm also realizing I need to do, now that we got more rockets, I need to do a fly through of some of the adjacent areas, because otherwise they won't load in the time lapse that I want to do here.
Right.
So we've flown around that way, but we haven't flown around much over here in this diagonal. And so I need to load in a lot of these chunks or they won't render at all.
No.
Yeah, you see how there's like that hard stop there?
Yep.
Yeah, that doesn't look good on the replay mod.
Yeah. Nobody likes popping.
Nope. Whoa, what's this thing?
Yeah,
Oh, is this where Corrales is? See, there's all these places on the server that I've only visited, like, via portals and stuff, and I don't realize necessarily how close they are to each other.
Right.
And this long-distance viewing mod really just makes it easier. Because people like to build just outside of view distance from each other. So that way they don't have to worry about their half-finished build making somebody else's video look bad.
That makes sense. That's fair.
And so we're actually all closer together than you'd think, but you don't necessarily realize it when you're just flying around.
Yeah, how long does it take to fly from, like, one edge of the map to the opposite side?
Well, Minecraft basically has infinitely sized maps, so it's hard to say.
No, I didn't realize that.
Yeah, you can just fly forever. Like, the math will start breaking down on some of the rendering things if the numbers get too large on the coordinates. You get crazy glitches and procedural generation problems, but you can keep going for a ways.
So there might be hermits who have decided to, like, fly east for 30 minutes and are building something secretly out there that no one knows about.
Well,
Is that what you're saying?
Rendog's base, for example, is like somewhere way far north that like I have never been there because it takes so
You have
long
no
to
reason
get to.
I see.
It doesn't come up. He's like he intentionally built far away from everybody because he's doing his own thing.
Right.
Ooh, what's this?
Oh, I see. So the map that you have at your house is the known world.
Oh. Yeah, and there's a lot of stuff over here that like
Oh, what are those?
clearly some sort of honey farm. I guess this is Hypnos.
Cool.
Yeah, the map at my house doesn't have a lot of this stuff. I need to fly back out here now that I know that it's here. I didn't realize people had settled out this way.
There'd be settlers out of these parts.
Yeah. Rem wanted a large mushroom island, and that turned out to be over 10,000 blocks away. Yeah. Yep, that's how it goes. Okay. Seeing the server in all of its glory is great. Well, I mean, we're kind of seeing it in a fifth of its glory here.
What's the story, server glory?
Like, what's going to be really cool is when we switch back to replay mod.
Oh.
And do that time lapse now that we've loaded all those chunks in. We got to let that replay file go for a minute. But, you know, I'm actually curious. If I loaded up this one, would the Bobby mod files in the cache... wait, no, this is after exit replay. I need the one from before that. Okay.
Okay. And I do want to let you know we're at 11:15, so...
Okay. Well,
since I know you're on a tight schedule.
Yeah. Yeah, I gotta do that Clio thing. So yeah, you're right, we gotta go. But thank y'all so much for coming and hanging out today. Just
Thanks,
as a
everybody.
reminder, redactedhills.com is where you can commission Quinn for music, and twitch.tv/redactedhills is where you can find Quinn streaming. What's your schedule looking like?
I'm streaming tonight.
Tonight, wow. At what time?
At 10 p.m. Central.
Woo. So go ahead and follow Redacted Hills.
So if there's a Joe stream, you can join right afterwards.
Yeah, that's an option you have. Zumani says, great music, Quinn. Great stream, Joe. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Mahi says, good luck versus Cleo. Thank you. Appreciate it. Okay, so let's go ahead. I'm going to see who else is live right now.
Who's live? Who's live right now?
Okay, a bunch of people I know are live right now.
Oh, yeah. Look at all these folks.
Now I got to pick. Boy. Okay, who haven't I rated recently is kind of what this is going to come down to. I don't think I've rated False recently, who's working on the Elytra course.
Ooh.
So why don't we go ahead and raid False Symmetry.
False Symmetry.
/raid False Symmetry.
/raid False Symmetry.
Okay, here we go. When you get over there, our raid message is, howdy y'all, Joe Hills raid here. Anyway, until next time, y'all, this is Joe Hills from Nashville, Tennessee. Keep adventuring. Any final words, Quinn?
Have a great day or a great night. Bye.
Bye! Raid now. Stop streaming. Stop.